All right. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Let Danny Tell It. I am your hostess. Yes! Danny Corinne, number one with the win. Thank you. And today I want to start off with to the left of me.
Shalom to the people.
I just love when he does that.
Shalom.
Don't you just love when he does that?
Oh, praise the Most High.
That's right.
And today I have with me the pleasure of having.
It's King. What's going on? Shalom,
sir.
shalom,
Yes, sir.
too.
Yes, sir.
Shalom to
Yo,
the
at King
people.
James Global.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go.
Hey, what's up, chat room, everybody? I don't want to leave you
Nothing.
guys out because I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me. What's up, Isla? Comments. Do we have phone lines today?
Yes. Tell we
got phone lines today.
Give them the phone numbers right there in front of you.
It is 818-914-4087. You guys call in and give me your comments, questions, whatever y'all want to talk about. So today, Nick,
Yes.
you and I were discussing, and King here, we were discussing some very, very heavy topics today. They need to be addressed. I feel like we need to discuss it and figure out, just process it first. That's the first thing that we have to do is just process it, evaluate it. I'm listening to this book, 7 Effective Daily Habits of Successful People, something like that. He's by Stephen Covey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, you better know Stephen Covey. Okay, so
He
So-
got the whole Covey system. He got like a binder where you can go and do the chart. Actually, his books had like workbooks attached to them.
Oh wow.
I
Yeah,
love
it was
that.
mandatory for a job to work that we did. For Stephen Covey, yes.
That's dope. That's dope.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, that's amazing. So we're it's the first thing is to listen, to evaluate. So first we gotta see what's going on. So please tell us, Righteous One, what are we gonna start with
Yeah,
first?
so we got a few things in the news. So first, I thought this was interesting. A Texas middle school holds and this is quote what they call it, a nigger auction
Oh,
for black children on Snapchat. So a ring of white children got together via Snapchat, which is a social media platform, and they held auctions. So they posted pictures of the kids, and then all the white kids would go on Snapchat and bid everything from $1 to $100.
Oh.
Now I don't know if they actually exchanged money or anything. This could have just been for a joke.
it was a mock auction, probably.
They
because we don't know.
mocked they mocked the NFL draft and the NBA draft. I mean, why are you surprised? Why are you surprised?
Woo!
Hey, why
Wow.
are you surprised that this is what happened? That's what literally the NBA draft. That's what it is. It's a bunch of niggas being sold to the
Highest bidder?
No, not the highest bidder, because now the way they work it is they got this tally system now. Before it was the highest bidder because they would just lose on purpose to get the number one spot. That's how LeBron got to Cleveland.
Right.
The difference is that was but now they switched it now to try to make it a little more equitable for the the players to be kind of divided up. But then they changed it so now the the players can now they have their own union and can decide where they're going to go. It's a whole big thing, but it literally is
It's
an auction block like slavery is.
It's like, okay, I'm gonna trade out my nigger for your nigger, and then we're gonna do this.
No,
and
here goes some
this
new
one does
niggas.
the
Here goes some new niggas coming
Here's
off
a
the
whole
boat.
flock of them.
This
Okay.
nigga faster. Oh, that's the fastest nigga out of all the
Right.
niggas. Let me get him first. He gonna be number one. Oh, he jumps higher than all the other niggers. So then he's gonna be number 2.
Whoa.
He's smarter than the other niggas, and he's just a little bit faster. We're gonna make him number 3, and they're all bidding.
Now I don't now some of the fans might be listening thinking that's a little extreme, but
It is
if
extreme.
you've never actually researched this, you can actually look up the exact qualifications or the process they went through for the slave in the slave auctions, right?
Yeah.
And the sad part is I've actually been through a combine before, a sports combine. The sad reality is it's exactly the same thing.
I mean, that's literally what I thought
When they
when
had,
I saw
when they had
it.
slave auctions, they take your measurements. talk about how strong the slave is.
Wingspan.
They check their teeth for their health. Right.
The NFL draft is not the same as it was when all white people was playing the NFL.
Correct.
It's
I was
not
going
the
to
same.
say, well, what that was going to be my next point was, well, what about all of the, it's
Right.
not like a only
Right.
But
black.
see, that's the whole. That's that's
There's
the
a
sick
lot
thing.
of, it's mixed up.
That's the
So-
sick thing about slavery is that we think when you hear slave, you think niggers, you think black people. But there's a whole bunch of it's poor. If you were
Right.
poor, you still are a slave today. Ain't
Right.
nothing changed. It's nothing that's changed.
Well, Del
The
X 12
terminology.
said it's not slavery; they getting paid and quite handsomely.
That's still.
So what is
But,
that?
okay, let me-
is that just? I mean, are they
Okay, so-
exchanging services for good? They're working.
Let me ask
it's
you
a job.
Let me ask him a question.
And I'm playing devil's advocate,
Please.
guys. I have
And
no,
you doing it
please,
you look,
yeah.
Great, you looking great doing
I'm
it.
like, she devil, the
Listen.
she devil emoji.
So, but the owner, Dan Gilbert, and LeBron. So let's say Dan Gilbert paid LeBron. Let's say he paid him $25 million that year. You know how much Dan Gilbert made the year that Cleveland won the championship? You know how many billions of dollars the Cleveland? So to say they getting paid handsomely, that's a foolish statement. They're not getting paid. Like their percentage is so low. It's probably you probably make more.
Percentage-wise, these.
Percentage wise.
I see what you're
Compared to
saying.
what the owner gets to the number,
No,
and LeBron did
let's
all the
not-
work.
let's not
He
go-
did
I got
all the
you.
work.
Let's not even go
But
with
he
the owner.
settled on those agreements and he agreed to those terms.
But let's check. Let's
I
not-
mean, you know what I mean? Like, I
And
mean,
so did the slaves.
He was
They said
okay.
so did the slaves.
Well, no, they didn't have a choice.
We think they didn't
No,
have
they
a
had a
choice
choice.
because they could have killed themselves. They could have fought back.
Yeah.
They could have fought back and just
Indeed.
choose to die. They say,
Well,
fuck you.
very
You're not
true.
gonna rape my wife.
They
I'm
coulda
gonna fight
Nat
you,
Turner.
and then you kill
Yeah,
me.
Because
they
what
Nat
choice?
Turner.
Because what
Yeah.
choice does LeBron have when you 6'8"? You either got a choice of living in the ghetto, possibly going to jail and dying, or go play for the white man, or go play. So it's almost the same choice.
Ooh,
Maybe not
that's
as
deep.
extreme, but I feel like it's almost the same choice. And if you look at the history of sports, all of these sports corporations have had a downturn until another black man's come along and saved their business. When you look at baseball, baseball was making a downturn in the 20s.
Come
and
on.
then they let black players in, saved the entire business.
Jackie
When
Robinson.
you look at the NBA, the same thing happened
Same
in the
thing
NBA.
happened in the NBA.
Magic Johnson. Soon as the Great White Hope, Larry Bird, started getting old, the NBA was dying. Nobody was watching NBA games.
Yes.
Michael Jordan comes along. So when we talk about money, the NBA owes Michael Jordan a percentage of every dollar they make.
Right.
The Nike, as a corporation, Nike makes billions of dollars every year.
Yes.
Nike would not exist if not for Michael Jordan. Single-handedly built that company. So when we talk about percentages, like the uniforms, nobody is rocking fashionable jerseys until Allen Iverson started doing
Allen
it.
Iverson doing it.
So these are-
Jay-Z, Allen Iverson.
These
at
are
that time.
cultural
Yeah,
people.
but think about
Okay.
it this way. They have made, let's say, I'm just using Dan Gilbert because they were the worst organization
Facts.
the year before, and then they went from the bottom to the top organization. They literally have made billions of dollars. So to say LeBron got $25 million to a person, I made $1 billion, but I paid you $25 million. You would say you are a fucking genius. You ain't gonna pay $25 million and get billions with the S in return. I do that all the time, and that's what they keep doing. That's why Dan Gilbert will forever be the owner. He's like, shit, why would I give up this? I can only pay my best player $30 million, and in return, I'm going to get $3-4 billion just in the year, not in the lifetime. So that year, I'm going to
alone.
gross that.
Yes.
Come on, like, so he's being paid less to me than someone else who may be taking a salary. Yeah, but the percentage now, if you get LeBron should have been making $3 billion, and then Gilbert should have been making $25 million because LeBron did all the work. I mean, you can say, well, Dan Gilbert, he owned the organization, whatever. But the point is that the owners are the ones who making, and it's a mind fuck. It's like you think that they're in this better position, but they would trade to be the owner. They calling these men sir. When LeBron got the trophy, they took the fucking trophy and handed it to Dan Gilbert.
Right.
But Dan Gilbert didn't do no work. Dan Gilbert has the NBA Finals trophy. That's who has it. The Cleveland Cavaliers have it, not LeBron James.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying?
And he's the one that.
But he the one who was MVP. He the one who scored all the buckets, made the game-winning shots, played defense.
Well, okay, so what about that brings what I thought about when you were explaining that was okay, well, what about an organization and a company? Yes, the owners are always going to make the more money, and then there's going to be, and then you're going to go on down the line. There's a hierarchy, in
Yeah.
any organization or company. I'm thinking about, even when it comes to, in the medical field. Yeah, the nurses do all the work, but the doctor comes in, does this, writes the script, and then everything else. A
But-
lot of people would say that the nurses do the bulk of the work.
But that's not a draft. You see what I'm saying? That's different.
But I mean,
this draft is slowly. We're talking about they having a nigger auction, and he's saying, I'm saying, why are you surprised? Niggers is still being on the auction block. They're going to have another one.
Right.
Okay.
Ain't nothing changing. I'm saying, so why to think that 8-year-old these middle schoolers are like doing something like unheard of? Like, no, they have been conditioned that we sell niggers.
Do you know what the tradition of? I thought this was interesting. As a kid, I used to watch the draft. It was an exciting time, and something hit my head one day. I was wondering, why do they keep putting on hats in every draft? Thought that was weird.
Ownership.
Right? I was like, because in baseball it makes sense. You actually wear a baseball cap, right?
Right.
Basketball, you don't wear hats.
Right.
You don't wear hats in football.
Right.
So I couldn't put together. I'm like, why do they put on? So I looked it up. I looked up the
That's
history
heavy.
of this. This is actually a Greek custom to show possession.
Yes. And the
Oh,
earring,
wow.
the earrings too.
This
The
is
earring
a-
was another one.
That's a Greek custom
Yeah.
Whoa.
to show possession. So when you see you'll often see pictures of, like when they had the all the Olympic games and shit back in the day. You would see a lot of the pictures the guys would have hats on with the wings on them or whatever. This was their symbol of who they belong to, a symbol of ownership. So that's what you're doing when you get drafted or selected, however you want
Right.
to put it.
Wow.
And they
You're
make you go
owned.
through this process of going up on a podium like a slave block. Think about that. You have to go up,
podium.
shake the owner's hand,
Yeah.
which is making a deal. When you shake someone's hand, you're making a conscious agreement. You're agreeing to something. After that process, then you put the hat on
Like,
to
didn't you put the hat
symbolize
on?
who you actually belong to.
Who you're owned
No
by? No.
way.
Who you're
I'm getting
owned
You're
by?
owned
such
by, right.
get out vibes.
Right.
Who you're owned by.
you
Right, you
guys-
guys can actually look
But think
this
about this.
information up.
When they-
If here's the perfect example. LeBron can't go play for any team he want to now. He can't say today, fuck the Lakers. I want to go play for my own league.
Well, he
can't-
signed a contract. I mean,
people get their contracts all the time.
well,
I'm saying
I'm playing
while
the devil's advocate.
I'm saying while
that.
he's in a Lakers uniform under that contract, he is the ownership of the Los Angeles Lakers. He can't even appear on TV of himself. There's so many conditions on that
I know,
contract.
I've read a contract, an NBA contract before.
Well, that's
like
ownership.
Firsthand.
That's what
Mhm.
you ownership.
They
I'm
can't do
saying, so it's
anything.
like-
No
Right.
recreational activity, like anything that's
Neither
going to
could
jeopardize
slaves.
their person.
Neither could
They
slaves.
cannot.
Yeah, you're not a free. That is true, Danny. A lot
They
of people
can't.
don't
They
know
can't
that.
ride motorcycles. They can't do anything that's gonna
Right.
any like.
They
And
own
I
slaves
don't. I
can-
don't.
and
They may
slaves
even have
can
a clause in
learn-
there for amusement parks.
And
to be
slaves can
honest
speak
with
their
you.
own language. Slaves can sleep with their wives. Slaves can
Right.
keep their kids. Like slaves can own guns. Slaves. It's the same thing. It's just a different manifestation, but it's the same. I'm just saying I don't understand why anybody's surprised. We are conditioned to sell niggers in every field. Niggers is what keep everything going. We know that the best workers. We know this.
That is true.
Anywhere you go, it's
That
the
is true.
niggas.
That is true.
They gonna make a break. Even when it's bad, it's cause of niggas, and when it's good, it's cause of niggas.
That
There's
is
a
true.
nigga somewhere that made everything better. That's just the way it is. It's unfortunate.
Okay,
but-
so just wrapping it up on this particular topic because I've learned how to regather, regroup, and kind of reassess. You guys, I'm growing, self-growth. Okay, so at the end of the day, these middle school children, they had to be learning it from somewhere. King is saying that it's in history. Nick is saying it's in history. It's been embedded in them. Nick, you also had said that it was in their DNA now at
Right.
this point. That was
Right.
very
So-
interesting.
Because I find it interesting that it makes sense for my grandmother to experience racism around the people she grew up around, right? Because she's 89 years old, right? So that makes sense. They're closer to that timeline. When you look at the kids born today, these kids have no reference points of racism. Everything you see is pretty much kumbaya, unless you actually have interaction with people outside of that. Unless you're watching the news as a kid, you're not seeing blatant racism.
But bro, no.
No, I'm talking about
They're
kids.
going
Think
to
about middle school.
They're learning racism in school. They're learning all year.
Did you
to learn
experience
about white people and only one
Oh no,
month you learn
no.
about black people?
I'm not.
That's
I'm not.
racism.
No, but I'm talking about. No, I agree 100% with that.
That's racism.
100% with that.
I'm saying they've been learning
Right,
racism.
right.
We have been learning racism from as soon as we got out the womb. We have been learning. It's a system.
Well, in that case, to the school system in general inherently is racist. So even to send you out to school, you're putting.
I mean,
your child
Thomas
in a different-
Jefferson is a hero in our books. How
Right.
the fuck is Thomas Jefferson a hero?
Right.
He
George
man
Washington.
owned slaves. He was detrimental to his slaves.
You guys
He's
should
a
read The
hero.
Trail of Tears, by the way, with Thomas Jefferson. It's pretty horrible.
Wait, don't tell me. What is the name of it again?
It's called The Trail of Tears.
Oh,
It's about Thomas Jefferson
By Sally Hemings.
and how he actually obtained all this land in America, and how they actually got the Native Americans to move off their land, and he didn't ask them. So,
But in school, he is a hero. He's on
didn't
Mount
ask him.
Rushmore.
that's crazy.
We're taught that this man, we're supposed to look up, we're supposed to revere this man. He's on our money.
right,
He's supposed to revere this man.
right.
But he's when you go into history, George Washington, all of them, we're taught that these people are the founding fathers. They are the great civilization.
And
We're
even
taught from
even
birth
white
that's
white
bullshit.
history starts with capturing us. When you think about in school, when you think about white history, they don't start in Britain and shit. They start from Christopher Columbus.
Christopher Columbus.
That's the first shit you learn about in middle school, nigga, is Christopher Columbus. He found America. I mean, he found some shit when people here, kidnapped the niggas there, took them on slavery, and that's the beginning of white culture.
Oh,
Taught in school
in
system.
like
in the school
starting
system.
from here,
But-
and then this is
right,
how we
yeah.
make America great again.
Yeah.
But I couldn't figure out where would
Scary.
these children get the idea of a slave auction. That seems so far removed from their reality.
It seems that way, but
Right,
then,
you would
you look at
assume,
the
like-
NBA draft, you say, "Oh, that's where they get this idea
Okay,
from."
to your point, King, Willie Sweet Wonka Joe says, anybody ever notice how you never see team owners wearing their own team merchandise?
Sweet, you might have just cracked the shit wide open.
Hello?
You might have
That,
just cracked
that
the
makes
shit
me
wide
nervous.
open.
They in suits and
That
shit.
makes
huh?
me
Can I
nervous.
tell you something?
Ooh.
I should tell you
They not in
something.
Jersey,
That's-
huh?
hey.
Oh.
That should tell you something, man. But I think all of it is symbolic.
Okay.
I think all of it's done on purpose. I think that unfortunately we're a group of people who don't seem to have a long-term plan, right? And it seems like every other nation of people have this fucking plan that just lasts for 500-600 years, and black people are trying to figure out a plan to get them to next week. You know what I'm saying? And I just think everybody else around us has these grand plans that they're all in on, and everybody's sticking to. Everybody is about keeping us in our place. You know, and it's
Do
becoming.
you feel like the masses, like everyone internationally,
I don't
not just
I don't
white
feel
folks,
like
you talk about
right.
everybody.
But I don't feel
like you
like-
feel like it's a grand scheme of things to keep us under.
I feel like the world itself has an investment in keeping black people under because they make money from us. But I think especially white people have the biggest investment because their entire existence is predicated off of a lie.
On our backs.
It's predicated off a lie. So the moment that lie doesn't, if the lie of Jesus
What is
Christ,
the lie?
that Jesus is a white man,
Oh.
this is the lie of their whole culture. Because if Jesus is not white, that means the Jews are not white. That means all that Jew shit y'all talking, we could do away with it. Right? That means all this Hindu, all this Buddhist, we have to do away with it. That means all of these structures that all these different people have built up have to come down. There's no more Christmas because Jesus is not white. Right? There's no more Easter. We don't think about all the money. Think about the financial crisis that's going to happen.
Right.
Think about all the wars America started in that justification.
Right.
That they're the correct people to police the world.
Right.
Why do you think other people agree to that shit? Because they convince people that Jesus is white, aka God is white. So I think they have the biggest investment financially, historically, to make sure we don't reach that. I think everybody else, it just looks at it from a financial part. You know what I mean? Which is bad, but you can understand that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I can understand that if I have something you need, I'm going to charge you a little bit more because you're not my people.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not that bad. I can understand that, you know.
Okay.
But I feel like if your whole culture is built off of a lie, that I understand then why you have to go to such extremes to keep these
To
people
keep
at a certain
it
at a
at
certain
bay.
baseline, right?
But see, I come on the other side of the same argument because I think that the reason why I have been in a position because it's because of me, and that's why I wasn't following the commandments. I wasn't.
I agree.
I wasn't
100%.
following wisdom. I was actually doing the very thing the Most High told me not to do. I was doing that, and I have received the penalty of doing the exact thing He told me not to
Facts.
do. So I can't blame a white man
Facts.
for me receiving consequences of my wrong actions.
Facts.
So that's where I think that the accountability comes once as we as believers to come together and say, wait a minute, this is the way we're supposed to do. Let them do what they do. Fuck what they do.
Right.
We only supposed to be doing this. Let us stick to what we supposed to be doing so we can receive the recompense from doing right or wrong. So that's where the other side of the spectrum is like, yeah, they had this sinister plan, but the scripture says the righteous will inherit the earth. He said the wicked, they plan things, but they won't see their imaginations come to fulfillment.
Right.
So if I believe the law, if I believe the Most High, then I have to believe that too. That, yeah, they got all this COVID shit, this old propaganda. Yeah, but he said if it's a vain imagination, if it's evil, it's not going to come to pass.
Right.
So then why would I then be so... Then why would I then be so adamant in fighting something if I know the Most High? If I know the creator of the world's on my team and we gonna win... Like, I know if I got Michael Jordan on my team and I know it's the chances of us winning, then I'm going to be a little more confident that I know I got some rookies who ain't ever played before on my team. You know what I'm saying? I know I got the Most High with me.
But
Yeah.
I think culturally, at least I was taught that the Bible was a fairy tale. You know, I was taught that culture. The Bible was a fairy tale.
And
So-
it is a fairy tale for non-Hebrews.
Right. So when
It is.
I think when it's a fairy tale, it leaves space for you to kind of wiggle out of those responsibilities. You know. So often when I point out issues that we may have with other cultures, I agree 100% with you. It has nothing to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know. I like to highlight those things, so hopefully it'll wake us up to maybe want to get away from those things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I will never say white people are responsible for the situation black people are in. If you read your history books, Kanye West had a point. Moses stood on that mountain and told them people,
Right.
if y'all don't keep these commandments, you're going to go into slavery.
Right.
He
And they chose to go into slavery. They chose.
Right,
They
so-
said, okay,
so, right,
well,
so
let's go into
he-
slavery then.
It's-
Well, they
right.
said it. Even the Israelites got to Egypt and they were like, dang, they were in bondage, but they were eating well.
Right.
When Moses delivered them and got them into the wilderness, they murmured.
Come on.
Right.
They
Come on,
murmured.
speak
They were
that
talking
truth.
shit.
Right.
That's not the
Murmured,
white man.
AKA
That ain't the
talking
white man.
shit. And
You
they
can't
was
blame the
like,
white man for that.
Those are
That's-
Africans too, by the way. So in Egypt,
When we were,
no, so
and we
I
were,
agree
they said
100%.
when we were in Egypt and Africa, we ate like queens and
Right.
kings and queens. We were eating pomegranates.
Well, it's so
we were
good that
having
we
this.
don't wanna go to
we
the
had
desert.
that. We don't want this manna.
We don't want this
I'm
shit.
sick of
I'm
manna.
sick of this shit. See, and that's
me back
where...
to
It's like
Egypt.
top ramen.
Take
Right.
me back to Egypt, right?
Take me
They was
back
like-
to sin. Take me back to the
That's
world
deep.
and go. I'd rather
deep.
go back to that place. And,
But
and see, and
that's
nothing you
still
can do
today.
for people like that.
But
You
that's
can have a savior come and he can be God in the flesh, and you're gonna kill him because you're gonna say, you know what? I don't even want nothing to do with none of this shit. I want to keep going the way we've been going.
so,
Fuck this.
you know
way.
what this reminds me of? The movie The Matrix. One of my favorite movies. One of the best parts of the movie is when the guy makes the deal with the agent to go back into the Matrix. And he makes it very clear. He said, I know it's not real. I know the stake is not, but at this point, I don't even care.
I don't even care.
I'm so sick of the actual reality that I'm willing to deal with the fantasy. And I honestly think that's probably most black people today is that we buy things. We buy cars and shit and then pull up to your mom's house and live there. You know what I mean? Go buy a chain and sleep on a couch because we're living in this matrix where instead of dealing with reality and saying, you know what, it's not about white people. It's not about them. I need to correct myself.
Right.
I have to govern myself in order to escape this reality. Most of us rather live in a fantasy world
Wow.
and just be like, nah, fuck that nigga. I'm just going to watch TV. I'm going to just play these games and I'm just going to go about life and blame it on this person. And even though I know this shit ain't good for me, I'm going to still eat it.
Yeah.
I'm going to still do it. Even though
Yeah.
I know this is going to kill me, I'm going to still do it. I'm going to still
gonna do
digest it.
Critical thinker said no one wants to hear it's our own fault.
It's
Like,
our
nobody-
own fault.
That's a fact.
That
Nobody
is
said
our
nobody-
own fault. Stop blaming white people.
My people
it's
suffer
you. It's
for
not
a
no
lack
white.
of knowledge.
You greater.
Thank you.
You got more responsibility
Facts.
because you greater. You can
Facts.
do more. They
you know
wish
better.
they could
You
be
need
you.
to do better.
Facts.
Oh my gosh, they wish they can be us.
I think this
Little
is why
kids
they
look at little
preach.
black kids and they see potential. I'm not saying you don't see the same thing, but
Nah,
you
probably
see
not.
two kids. you know that this little black kid is gonna be stronger. He gonna be faster. He might even be smarter. He gonna be more creative. You just know it, and it's sad to say it that way. You think all human beings are equal.
I would.
And
You know,
they
it's funny
are,
nope,
but
nope,
they not.
No,
They not.
We
though.
gotta stop saying they are. As you were saying what you were saying, I was just thinking about that. I was thinking, why would those other people tell you everyone's equal? When it's listen, if anybody's into science, you can look this up. Our bone structure is not the same. They can actually
Hair.
identify different people by the hair follicles.
Negroid hair. That's
Are
what they call
actually
it.
different, right?
Or Caucasoid hair.
Right.
Our
Negroid,
our
right.
head,
Yep.
our skeletal structure,
Yep, or
our muscle structure,
Our muscle structure,
our DNA structure is different.
Right.
The medicines,
everything.
how we absorb everything is different.
Our melanin in
So,
our skin.
Right, we
Did
obviously,
he say that?
Yeah.
obviously we jump higher. Obviously we run fast. This is not hypothetical, nigga. We have records now. We can look this shit up. We fight better.
Fight
Right.
better.
Oh,
Almost everything you can think
The
of.
UFC has been out for a little time now. And at this point, Chinese people should be whooping ass. And it's not happening for y'all, okay? We whooping y'all ass on every platform. So at this point, we cannot keep walking around with the narrative that everyone is equal. We're not equal. But, and I think when black people finally realize we're not equal, like the brother said, we're going to have to take responsibility then.
That's
Well,
what.
K Dot said, well, after you hold yourself accountable, then what? What up, K Dot?
Then what?
That's it.
Then
but
what?
But that's where because the Messiah said, "To whom much is given, much is required." See, that's the part that's not left. That's the part that's left out.
Right.
See, we're graded for a reason.
We're held to a higher standard.
We're held to a higher standard because you can do more.
Right.
So don't glory in being better.
Right.
No, nigga, you got more responsibility now.
Right, it's on your,
Actually,
yeah, it's
it's
up to
better
us
for you
now.
not to have that to be better because you have less responsibility. You're judged
Yeah.
differently.
That's the matrix. right?
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss.
And it's
like,
forgiven,
okay,
you know? Yeah.
Their trick is to make them think that they are in superior, but of course that has to be a trick because you already know naturally you're not superior. This naturally, you can
Right.
take somebody, meet another man, white man, the same weight, same height as me. You're automatically going to say, I'm going to be faster,
Right,
stronger,
there's no
jump
way
higher.
he going to compete.
Yeah.
He gonna be afraid. He gonna have
Right.
to get 3 more men, 4 more men
Right.
to fight just to fuck with me. I'm not saying I'm some superior dude. Imagine Mike Tyson. Imagine Deontay Wilder or someone who like on that level.
Danny, read that last question.
Okay, so this is...
Critical thinkers.
Okay, so Critical Thinker asks, if we're so much better, why are we not running things?
Can I get a scripture?
It's a mindset.
I know why.
It's a mindset.
One thing
I
why
would
we're not.
agree.
First of all, we are running things, but we've been
Thank you,
convinced that we
Marcus, I
aren't
agree.
running things. No, we
Yeah.
are running. Take niggas away from here and see who runs shit. Take black folk away. It's like they say about Mexicans who are
That's what
black
I felt.
people.
I thought about
who are
it,
black
too. Our
people
black
too.
and brown
They say
brothers.
take away
Absolutely.
Mexicans and see what happens
please.
here.
Oh,
Take away
please.
Mexicans.
I
Take away
mean,
niggas and see who run. See who in control. Listen,
I love
critical
my
thinker,
Latinos. I
critical
love
thinker.
my
Read Up from
Latinos.
Slavery by Frederick Douglass. I think it's Up from Slavery. Just read that book, Up from Slavery. He told at the Reconstruction period, after slavery was over, the Emancipation Proclamation. He told what happened. He said the white women couldn't even feed their babies. He said, nigga, he said it is on God, on us. God put it on us. We have to go back to these plantations because they can't even survive without us. They can't feed themselves. He said he went back to the slave plantation after niggas left, and it was overran, is what he said. He said they couldn't take care of themselves. Imagine that.
So I got something for you, Danny. This is Hosea 4:6.
Okay.
For my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. The knowledge this is referring to is the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, FYI. This is the fucked up part. So when I read this is what I chimed in on. So, because thou hast rejected the knowledge. So the fact that we don't have knowledge, right, is only because we reject it.
Right.
Which is a choice.
Yes.
That makes a huge
That means
difference.
it was presented to you and you said no
Oh
thanks.
shit!
No
That
thank
changes the whole narrative.
Okay.
Right. So he says, and this is fucked up. So this is why it's important to know what color the person is in the Bible. This is why, because it's
Lord.
two different personalities. Okay. This is a black man saying this. So because you have rejected this knowledge, okay, I will also reject you. Right. And check this out. Seeing as you have forgotten my laws of God, I will also forget your children.
Your legacy. Done. I forgot.
So dig this. He's saying, because you as a person chose to reject me, I'm not fucking with you.
Or your legacy.
So all you people out there think because you're a good person, God gonna bless you. This says otherwise, okay? This says if you're not fucking with God, he ain't fucking with you. And because of that, he not fucking with your whole family. That means your family going through problems. So think about us as black people. Our entire families are being punished. And he's explaining why. Because as a people, we making a conscious choice to reject the knowledge of how to correct yourself.
Our ancestors rejected the knowledge, and then that was our curse.
To be put into layman's terms.
Because you got to think, we teach our children.
So we put this in layman's terms. So what he's saying is, instead of you going to go get a company and paying your brothers and sisters every day, you're all going to be forced to go work for somebody else who's going to pay you once a month, like every other week.
Right.
So now you're going to have to be forced to live paycheck to paycheck. But if you was just living by my system, you would be getting paid every day. You wouldn't have to be worried about living paycheck to check.
You just solved the poverty line, brother.
You see what I'm saying? It's
like
you create a business and you employ your brothers and sisters and you pay them every day.
Because you know what happens then? I don't have to go get a credit card now.
Right, because I don't need credit because I got my funds.
I can tell you,
because I'm getting paid for the work I've been doing every day.
You guys are really breaking it
down. No, the Bible said that. They make that
the
rule.
Bible, you're right. The Bible did that. Ain't me.
Well, I mean, it was for us to interpret and to accept. You know,
that's why I like
so,
that.
Was deep, brother.
That was very deep.
It's the truth.
Very
it's like
deep.
if we were to
Wow.
see, that's why I started following the commandments. Wow. When I realized that he trying to help me out, Elohim said to me, "Yo, bro, I don't need this. I don't live by these laws.
Right.
This is for you, and you to listen to this is going to help you out. This is for you. This is not a religious. This has nothing to do with heaven and hell. This is so you can live a good life now. Don't speak no deceit. Right. Don't speak no guile."
Right.
You won't have. Then you'll keep beautiful karma coming in.
There you go.
How you want to put it in? You want to put it in layman terms? You keep beautiful karma. Yes. Just watch what you say. Don't go stealing. Don't go take another man's woman. Then you ain't gonna have niggas coming to find you, want to kill you.
Look. As I'm reading the commandments, right? I read which ones require death, right? Immediately, right? Don't covet. Don't sleep with another man's wife, right?
Don't take another man's woman.
Covet, but let's break down covet. Covet means to look at something else with
longing
desire to desire it.
But adultery,
you just gotta break that.
Adultery, right?
Yes,
is sleeping with a married woman, right?
Correct.
So I used to think about that. It's like, damn, why is that punishable by death? I'm like, that's a little extreme. You know what I'm saying? Just a little. But when you think about real life, what happens if a nigga catch you sleeping with his woman?
He gonna want to kill you.
He's liable to kill your ass for it.
He is. He can't control it.
Thou shalt not steal. What's gonna happen if I catch you stealing from me?
I'm gonna fuck you
beat
up.
You like you stole
it's a good chance I might kill you.
It's a good chance.
That's insane.
So this is not. This has nothing to do with heaven and hell. This has nothing to do with you steal somebody now. God gonna come punish you. And you gonna go to hell tomorrow. No, nigga, somebody on earth gonna fuck you up. You come take somebody's woman.
That's what woke me up when I realized what he was telling me was it wasn't about this fantasy land where you're gonna go and everything's fine. This is how to conduct yourself in real life.
Right here.
How do I stay out of issues with another black man? You know how? Don't mess with his woman.
Don't mess with his woman.
Easy, simple.
Leave his money and
respect.
His woman alone.
Help
him get some bread.
That's simple.
And leave his woman alone.
Pay a man on time.
Well, listen.
All niggas will fuck with you. You the best nigga moving.
So I'm going to throw y'all a curveball. Okay, so what about this? You know how the golden rule is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. What if you don't love you? What if you don't love you?
Then
what if you don't love you?
Then you might have cracked the shell again.
Then you get
so you're gonna project it. If you don't love yourself, then I don't love you.
Danny, that's what's happening today. You know why?
Yeah.
I did not love. I'm gonna say this. I didn't love myself at all until I actually had to find out what love meant. So when I read the scriptures, because anybody can make up with. Because you ask somebody, they tell you how they feel. Right, which is conditional. So I said I need to get a solid definition. I can't keep going off of how niggas feel. And so I said, let me find out from the Creator what is love. Search the Bible, right? And I found it. He actually identified. He said, if you keep the commandments, for this is love. Keep my commandments.
That you observe them and
you do them, right? So I didn't understand that at first. I'm saying, yeah, but that's a little selfish. Like you want me, but when I read the commandments, and I said, okay, well, if I'm looking at you as a brother and I don't covet your stuff. I don't sleep with your wife. I treat you how I want to be treated. I don't want to be stolen from. I don't want
Right.
somebody to do something to
That
me.
doesn't feel
Right.
good. Right.
Then it starts to make sense.
Right.
If I see you as if I value myself and I understand I'm put here for a purpose, I'm not like everyone else. We are a special group of people. I have to value that. Now when I look at this brother, I see the same value.
Right.
But if I don't see that value in myself, it's
Right.
impossible. Because really, black on black crime is really me just going at myself.
Right.
I'm really trying to escape reality.
Right.
When I used to deal with this
on.
all the time about gang members, right? It's fear. You know, my dad told me, he said only a weak nigga join a gang.
Hello.
My dad's a comic.
And that
nigga.
goes for, to me, I mean, no shout out. I mean, I'm not
No.
going to discredit fraternities
I know
or
gang members.
sororities.
Oh.
But I feel the same way. I'm just kind of like, I don't want to join any organization where I have to demean myself or anything like that in order for you to get benefits. Like,
Right.
if that ain't for me, then.
Or have
If
to
I
call
need to
on
do
people.
that to get that, then it ain't for me.
I mean,
you know?
that's a Greek order. It's
Yes.
a Greek order. I mean,
Well,
Greeks, we get to study Greeks.
Alpha,
I mean,
yeah,
but
Alpha,
to
Chi,
what
Alpha.
Amanda said, and that's why I
mean,
think
you know,
so many
I'm not
people.
hating, guys. Don't. I mean, I'm sorry, Chapman,
No,
not
it's
to cut
okay.
you off,
No,
but
no.
you know, we're not talking about that. You know, I'm not discrediting. You
Selfishness
know,
leads
in
to-
any. You know, I'm not shitting on nobody's fraternity or sorority,
Oh, you
or
can
I don't
shit
want
on
to
it.
offend you guys. I'm just talking about the history behind that.
I mean,
and
it's-
that doesn't discredit you as a people, but it's just for me. You know, I'm just speaking for me and for how I roll.
I mean, people.
Go ahead, King.
People. America is bizarro land.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly everything
Babylon.
is almost backwards, right?
Babylon, yeah.
So people do things, and yes, they feel things, or it's so much emotion tied to it, so they feel it's right, and then people get upset when you just let them know, yo, bro, Christmas, that shit's false.
It
Like,
is.
It's
a-
just false.
A fallacy.
You can keep it.
I don't
you
even
can
have
keep
a
it-
chimney,
It's a
nigga.
complete
You can keep it
fallacy.
going, but if you live in an apartment building, the Santa didn't come down your chimney.
But then how can you
But you're
chastise
lying.
how can you chastise your child about telling the truth in life?
Right, well, we're lying
Yeah.
to them, but it's in the
So-
name of tradition. I'm paying the
So you-
devil's advocate.
Yes.
It's in the name of tradition.
Tradition.
But
It
this is
does
what
bring around. I mean, there are
that's
wars-
bizarro land, right?
That's bizarre land. That's my point.
When
It's
you say
bizarro
it's
land.
bizarro land when you say Black Lives Matter, but then you hold a protest saying women have the right for abortions. So now we got to pick one. Either lives matter, or look. My thing is this:
Do the lives matter or not?
Like the Most
Do the
High,
lives matter?
The Most High says this.
Is it a life or not?
The Most High says the worst thing is lukewarm. That's the worst
Well,
thing you
they
can
say
be. Is
at
on the fence.
and on some.
Pick a side, nigga.
Okay.
Is it a life or not?
Well,
It's not a
not
life.
yet.
It's not a
I
life.
mean,
It's
Either
not a
fuck
life,
them all
bro.
or
It's
save
not
them
a
all.
life. It's not here yet.
It's
It's not a life.
after a certain point, according to this law, after a certain point, you know, it does not. It's not a life until after a certain point.
It's not recognized to be commercial value yet. That's what they didn't
Yeah,
tell
they
you.
can't tax it.
They can't tax it yet.
They can't
don't have a
subscribe to
social
We're
security
talking
number
about
yet.
an embryo.
It don't have a social security number
Well, I
yet.
know after
but the
this-
day it gets a social security number, you better not fuck with it.
Yeah,
The
'cause-
day you get a social security number, you better not. You going to jail if you fuck with that life.
Got you.
You bet. Listen, that mom better not have want this social security number, and you kill it while it's in the womb, because then you get a double
So,
murder.
Let me ask this.
Stop
So
it.
I was
Double
gonna say this.
murder.
Don't say
No, no.
that.
How's it a double murder?
I was gonna say this. So if I got my girl pregnant, and then I'm upset about this, Reb, I ain't talking to you. If I was in the world and I got my girl pregnant, and I decide, fuck this, I don't want to have a baby, and I kill her. If they find out she could be 2 weeks pregnant, if they find out she
Oh
was
yeah,
pregnant,
that's for
It's a
sure.
double murder.
I'm
It
going
was
to
a Ray
prison.
Caruth.
I'm going to prison for 2
That was
murders.
Ray
Now
Caruth.
you have to explain that to me.
How's
How
it
is
two
it 2
murders?
murders when you're telling me it's not a baby until
Until
a
it's
certain
born.
point?
Well, how's it 2 murders then?
This is bizarro land.
Oh,
It's
well, I
bizarre
don't
land.
know. I don't
Exactly.
know about
This is
that.
Babylon.
Thank
That's
you.
crazy.
It don't even make
if it's 2
sense.
weeks and I have the option to abort myself, and then that's not considered.
If
I
you
mean, I
kill
can
a
understand
pregnant-
that point.
But why if I decide
Right.
I don't want the baby
Right.
here? Why is it murder when I decide?
If
Well,
you
I
kill a
got you.
pregnant
now,
woman
we're
today,
talking about Lacey Peterson and Ray Caruth and how that these women were 9 months. They were eight plus more pregnant. So these
Still.
were babies that
But
were
who is
kicking and
deciding?
moving in their wombs.
Who's
Oh,
deciding?
but
The
babies
they
start
were
moving
moving
at
like they
4
were breathing.
months. I
They
think
were
they
had
say-
heartbeats. They were all that.
They say
So-
3 months is, I think, the heartbeat, the first trimester.
No, it is. It is. I mean, you could hear it. That's how you.
So is it the heartbeat? Soon they get a heartbeat, you can't kill them no more. What is it? That's why it's a
no,
bizarre
you
land.
can
When
still
is
kill it
When
after
is
it
that
has a
line?
heartbeat.
Why is murder
It's
okay at
true.
all?
I mean, yeah.
Why is there any? There's no excuse for murder. None. There's no reason you can give somebody and say, "Well,
Papa, get in here and get on the mic. I'm busting you
I
out.
killed somebody for this reason." You can't. And think about
Speedy in the
this.
house.
Most people, and I know women throw out the rape thing most of the time, but I looked up the percentages that almost never happens.
Yeah.
I looked the percentage up. Most of the abortion happens because of poverty.
Yes.
That's the most reason for abortions, especially in the black community, is poverty. You're afraid
Or the wrong dad.
because you live in a ghetto that you're gonna
the
have
wrong
another
dad they wanted.
that you're gonna have another mouth to feed, right?
Yes.
That's murder. So you're not having a kid because you want to keep being able to go out. You don't want to take that. You don't want to have to now take your party time and invest it into real life. So you decide, I'm too young, I'm not really with this guy,
Yeah.
whatever your excuse is.
I'm sorry, hold on.
K-Dot said, listen, pregnancy 100% preventable.
Thank you,
Hold on,
K-Dot.
Thank you, K-Dot. One second.
Shout out to Nuvarine, y'all.
Hope this is not too deep. I know you want to talk about something else. This
Let's
lady get
go.
too deep.
Let's go. I'm ready.
maybe
We're
too
going to
deep,
segue
man. We might
this
not- let's
into
lighten it
stir
up
the
a little
pot.
bit.
We're going to stir the pot now.
Yeah, let's lighten it
Now
up a
let's
little
stir
bit,
the
'cause-
pot. King is going to officially, proverbially stir the pot.
Yeah,
What is it,
because I can get,
proverbially?
you know what I'm saying? Let's lighten it up a little bit because we don't. Let's just enjoy
It's a tongue
ourselves.
twister.
We can get way too
Let's
deep.
go. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm on the deep end. I'm on the diving board. Let's go.
Yeah, your chat room is loving it, Danny.
Yeah, I
Okay,
love
there we
them.
go, chat
I
room.
love them.
Let's go, chat
I'm so
room.
excited. Thank you, my card.
Great point,
Thank you,
K-Dot.
critical thinker, guys. I love you guys. Go ahead. Yes, sir, King. We're stirring the pot.
I appreciate this forum. I appreciate you, matter of fact, as being a host, and it's not.
A hose? No, I'm just playing.
I mean,
I'm kidding. No, I heard
I
you.
mean, no, I appreciate the forum as like as you as a host letting people just speak for themselves. You know, you watch so many shows and we don't understand what goes on. But if anybody who's been on these television tapings know that there is a script.
Oh,
When
yeah.
people come on, like you got to say certain things. In fact, you're not even invited if you would even go off the script. But you have a forum right now. Was like. You know what I'm saying? Just let people just do them and say with them. And you even play devil's advocate. So shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you for being open-minded.
Well,
you know
thank
what I'm
you.
saying?
So you didn't even really. Okay, so we just that was a love.
Yeah,
I
shout
love
out to you.
that.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
Because everybody
Thank
ain't
you,
want to do
King.
this. You know what I'm saying?
I
Just
appreciate
let
that.
the Hebrew speak and talk
Of
about what's.
course.
You know what I'm saying? Because some people might be upset. You don't know if your audience might be offended by what we're saying today. They might be
Yes.
saying, "Well, no, we're very much in the Matrix. We love the Matrix, and we don't want to hear nobody who's not in them, who's
Yeah.
not talking about."
Facts.
Yeah,
the
or like
Matrix.
Tyler Perry in his movies.
You like, yo,
I'm like, nah,
hey,
he
listen.
put so many black people on. I'm like, I know, but so did Ryan Coogler, and so
Yeah.
you know.
No, good point.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know, there's levels to this shit, and I want us to elevate and get to our highest level, and that's all I'm saying. So shout out to Tyler Perry. I love what you're doing as far as employing us. I just want to take it to the next level, and that's all. And bigger shout out to Ryan Coogler and Shaka King and those ones that are putting us and giving us substance.
I
Do you get me?
I stir the pot.
Substance. And well, I guess everyone has their lane because Tyler Perry does provide like a comedic feel. You know, I get it. We need to laugh. And I get that. I guess there's room for all of us is the point that I'm trying to say. So
I stir the pot
instead
up a
of
little
me-
bit.
You know, I want to veer toward Ryan Coogler and Shaka King as far as where I want my people to go and where I see us going. But, you know, there's room for everybody. So shout outs to all of us that are doing better.
I got a question for
and
you,
doing
Danny.
good things. Yes, sir.
Why are women crazy? Hebrew women,
Okay, so
good
now we
women.
stirring the pot. Now that's
Yeah,
the
stir the pot.
pot.
Why are women crazy?
Because of y'all. No, I'm just playing.
The righteous ones, the
you.
unrighteous ones, the good ones,
'Cause of
they
you.
all crazy.
Right.
Why are all women crazy?
Okay,
Tell
women,
us
shout
that.
out. Where are you, Jay Lee? Where are you, Nakia? Where are you, Kamika?
Where y'all
need
at?
all
Why y'all crazy?
Hello,
Let's talk
help
about
me
that
out.
for the last couple of minutes, huh? Why y'all
Where
crazy?
you at, bestie? Let's go. Because, well, the thing is, I know for me, because I told you my friends, they had an intervention with me yesterday. My friend did. And she kind of sat me down, was just like, listen, you know, there are some things that, you know, I feel like, you know, I would love to see you improve on. And I'm just like, you know what? I get it. And I wasn't even aware that I was doing it. And it was it went against everything that's in my principle and what I stand for. And so it just hit me like a jolt. And I'm like, holy shit, like I got to really do a lot of work. I thought I had it so together. Thought
You know
I had
what?
it so together.
You just remind me of a scripture that says, the older women teach the younger women.
That's your job.
The older women teach. And he said, how to love your husband. Like, then you got to learn how to love a husband?
Hold on.
What about Naomi
Damn.
and Ruth in the Bible?
Hold on.
You got to
Naomi and
learn
Ruth.
that.
I talked about this about
Oh, that's it. Oh, that one get the calls coming in.
about the job of
You got the calls
everybody know the
coming
job
in,
of the man.
Hey.
everybody know the job of the man, right? Protect, provide.
And
But when you read the job of the woman,
she's
God gave you a job description.
Woo.
Learn how to be a wife.
Oh.
You teach the kids how to be a wife. That's your job.
Come on.
So if we have a problem in the household, it ain't us.
Oh.
It's not our job to fix that. It's your job, actually.
But
Call her.
you're the head of the household.
But
Call her.
that's not our job description, though, Danny. Not on my job title. I can't do nothing about that. I can't teach my daughter how to be
I
a
love
wife. Can't do nothing.
y'all.
Call her.
What up, y'all? It's Big J and
Jay.
Hey,
What's up,
Big
Jay?
J in Dallas. What's up,
man,
sir? How are
HNS,
you?
man. I appreciate your perspective, man. I would say everything in the household, including the conduct of the woman, is a responsibility of the man, whether you like it or not.
Ooh.
And that's spoken as somebody who's been married for nearly 20 years. Whether or not I approve of my wife's conduct or her behavior or her choices or anything else, I'm responsible for it as the head of the household. And that doesn't always mean everything is running smoothly in your house, nor should it. I mean, that's part of life and education and marriage, fatherhood, and everything else. I'm responsible for my sons and their behavior as well, which is why in certain situations in society, a parent can be held accountable for the actions of his children.
Okay.
Now, even though I don't necessarily agree with my wife, it's my responsibility to manage her. And I do mean manage her. So I have to be her support, her strength, her encouragement. I don't necessarily have to
Well, I feel like
control her behavior because she is a free human being. But I need to be the sort of resource that inspires and motivates her without necessarily slamming somebody for that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but
Yes.
what's her job description? I
Oh,
think that's the
bro. I
question.
mean, I think that specifically is that's specific to the couple.
See,
You find your lane. You understand the resources of your partner. You understand your partner's gifts and abilities. My wife is very talented. She's a well-educated, beautiful, smart, funny woman. She's got a lot of talents and gifts and abilities. Otherwise, I wouldn't have chosen her. And more importantly, it's why I stick with her after all this time. But that said, I also have talents and abilities myself, which is why she gives me the commitment and the support, hilarious, that she gives. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so Caskey talking about submission. What it really has to do is accountability. If you're a credible, accountable man, your woman is more likely to fall in line than not.
Can I
If
ask
you've
you some
chosen the right
questions?
one. And that's all. That's the best you can hope for. Is
Yo, can I ask you some questions
better.
about you taking offense to him? I'm gonna ask you some questions. How many times you had sex a month? You said you've been married 20 years?
hold on. I'm still listening, brother. Can you speak up? I couldn't hear you.
You said you've been married 20 years?
Yeah, well, close to 19 and a half.
How many times you have sex a month? Keep it all the way 100,
It
brother.
depends on a month. I don't really count it. It's more about the number of weeks for me.
How many times
You know,
in
about
a
2 or 3
week?
times
In
a
a
week.
week, how many times you have sex in a week with your wife?
2 or 3.
You get a standing ovation, bro. So there's been times where you feel as though sex has been withheld from you or used to you to an advantage, or you maybe complain about it or have some difficulties around it?
I think there are always things that you're frustrated about or disappointed.
But that's not what
part
I
of
asked
life.
you. That's not what I asked you,
Hold
though.
on, nigga. Don't interrupt us.
I'm
man.
sorry,
We're
I'm
speaking.
sorry, bro.
I didn't ask you what you were asking. Let me finish in response to your question.
Okay.
My point is, it depends on the season that you are in your life. In certain situations, there are going to be things that you're struggling through, and intimacy is one of them. Communication is a way more important one, and being on the same accord is a whole level above both of those. The biggest thing we struggle with isn't any of those other things. It's making sure we're on the same accord. And there have been whole seasons where we're not talking to one another like we should. In 20 years, the biggest things that we've overcome are the death of parents, losing children, unemployment. They're way bigger things that we've suffered rather than that little bedroom shit. I mean, at your age, of course, that's an important thing, and it's always important. But I can fuck you and still be mad at you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's easy breezy.
That makes
It's
sense.
been way more important over the years for me to make sure I can talk to my wife, make sure she's listening, paying attention, and valuing what I say. That's been my journey. It might not be the same for everybody else, but there's way more important things to maintain in a relationship than what's going on between the sheets. It's way harder than that.
Well, I mean, I
That's
disagree.
the one thing a lot of young people don't really get. A real relationship is way harder than you think it is.
Big J. So I'm also on Instagram Live as well. And Randall C. Davis said intimacy is not just about sex.
Yes. See, but I didn't answer
So
about
that
intimacy.
was to your
I didn't
point.
answer about
Real
intimacy.
intimacy
I
is
asked
about
about
being
It's
able
sex.
to
about
talk
effective
about, like,
communication. He just
Yes.
wrote,
But I didn't ask about intimacy.
bruh,
I asked about
when we
sex.
when we
It's
lost
not the
when we
same
lost
thing.
our daughter.
Yeah.
When we lost our daughter.
I'm so sorry, Jay.
No. I mean, that's a long time ago, and it was God's will. These things happen.
Mm-hmm.
It took way more humility on her part and my part to forgive one another for that, to embrace that pain, to accept it, and to heal from it. The closest we ever came to actually splitting up was after we lost the baby, and that was nobody's fault. It just happened.
Right.
So when I say intimacy, I mean going through something and then being able to break down. I had to hold my wife as she was going through a nervous breakdown. I had to admit I couldn't just fix that. Does that make sense, brother?
Yes, sir.
Like, that was way deeper in experience than anything that happened between the sheets, man. I mean, crying till your soul aches. You can't just fix that. It just takes time and commitment. And over time, we were able to heal and move past it. But I'm grateful that she was willing to stick with me. I didn't know how to fix her pain. And there's nothing more painful to a man than knowing you can't fix what's wrong in somebody you love's life. That's the real vulnerability of men. Our greatest strength is when we are struggling to help those we love.
Okay,
I agree.
I love that.
I appreciate that.
love that, Big J. Thank you so much
I
for
mean,
sharing your
long enough,
experience.
man. I mean,
I appreciate you,
No.
bro. Thanks for
barbecue
calling in,
grill,
bro.
my nigga.
Go get some tissue, nigga. All right, Jay. That's my guy.
Yeah,
I
I
love you.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Big J and Dallas, for your input.
Can I say something on
appreciate
that, Danny, before we get off
Yes,
this topic?
please.
To Jay, so just for, I respect what Jay said, and I agree with him on that part, on the individual level. Just to make something clear, because I often hear this conversation, when you guys are reading the scripture, if you're planning to apply this to your life, just understand it's not talking to the individual. God is not necessarily concerned with the individual. He's concerned with the body of people. So even in the context of talking to the individual, he's still talking to the body of the people.
Right.
He's telling us how to build a community and a society to actually function. So when you talk about the job of the woman, I understand what Jay was saying, but my wife, the reason I picked my wife, because her job is not just to me. She has to raise she has to be an example to my nieces.
Right.
She has to show the women and the young men around me what to expect, right? Because when I read this is Titus 2:3, it says, for the aged woman likewise, age just mean a woman with some understanding. That they be in, the most important thing is the end of this, that they be in behavior to become in holiness. For definition reasons, holiness means separate, meaning separating yourself from what everyone else is doing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So being holiness, this is the important part. This is for you black women, Hispanic women, not false accusers. This is what you cannot do. This is your job as a woman, but from God, which this is your job, women, to be not false accusers, not given to much wine. Now, wine in this verse is
And
talking about
revelries, honey.
wine in
In
this
my
verse
Bible.
is talking about philosophies.
Right.
It's not necessarily talking about the alcohol. It's talking
Yeah.
about the philosophies of the
Come on,
world,
bro.
right?
Come
So then it says, this is what you must do now. Those are two things you can't do. This is what you must do. You teach good things. It's referring to the Bible. Hold on. That they may teach the young women to be sober. Once again, we're not talking about alcohol. So that means you can't be on Instagram all day. You can't be on Snapchat all day.
So no distractions.
Sober.
You gotta be
Zero
sober.
distractions.
So this is
Yes.
this is the
No
aged
soap
woman's
operas,
job.
No novellas.
This
Oh,
is y'all.
wait.
So if y'all see
Novellas.
the young ladies doing this, that means the women are not doing your jobs. This is the woman's job to teach the young women not to do these things, right? So hold on, to be sober, this is to love their husbands, to love their children's. It's finna get deeper.
To be
To
taught
be
that.
discreet.
You gotta be taught that.
You have to be discreet.
You gotta be taught to be discreet.
This is the
You
woman's
hear that?
job to
So
teach.
what is your
you-
definition of
It's not up to me.
discretion?
It's not up to me.
What
Let's-
is
we
the
get-
definition of
He finna tell you right here.
discretion?
Chaste.
Oh.
Taste.
Keepers at home. This is what discreet means. Keep your ass at home.
Keep your home.
Be chaste. You cannot go fuck who you want to fuck. This is what God is telling you. Obedient
To your husband.
to their own husbands.
Their husband.
You can't even talk to this other nigga over here. You supposed to be talking to. Can't. All right, let's keep going. This is the part of the verse that really
Oh,
got me,
Nick.
because in the church they never get to the end.
Right.
This is the whole point of this, Danny.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I love my rib. I'm gonna shot you on this, girl.
Mm-hmm.
This is the reason she does this for me. Not, and I respect what Jay said, but this is the difference. This is why my wife does this, so that the word of God does not be blasphemed.
Woo, don't be blasphemed.
So
Now,
you
let me
can-
add
So
that.
it's like, don't make a
Let me-
mockery
It
out
ain't
of
got
me.
shit to
Don't
do with
claim
me.
to serve me.
Let me
Don't
get-
do
let
it
me
for
get
me.
on
Your
that.
wife out of line.
Let me get on the end of that. Now, what he said was, now think about this.
Hmm.
Let's think about it out of religious context. Think about a woman who ain't on Instagram all day, who she focused on her business all day. All she do is focus on her business. She's helping people.
Right.
She's beautiful.
Y'all run the
She
world.
ain't around a whole bunch of nigga faces all the time. Niggas is taking for this type of woman. He's telling you this is how you be. You want to get chosen? Be
Right.
like this.
Right.
Be like
discreet.
this.
Right.
The other girls, yeah, they gonna be prettier.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, once the nigga get into her life, he gonna be like, no, fuck that bitch. That's what he gonna say.
No, facts.
No, serious shit.
Facts.
I know
Facts.
a lot of niggas who don't give a fuck about what this girl look like.
Mm-hmm.
I try to
They
explain
not
that to women.
spending no
Niggas hit
money on
anything.
this. They like, no, they gonna get it. They
Listen,
like, no,
I
fuck
totally
her. She's
get
a,
it.
We would hit
I
anything.
know
Father,
girls right now that
trust
niggas
me.
told me is a headache. That's what a nigga told me. She's a headache.
Headache.
That's what
She's
he
a
told
bill.
me. She's
This bitch
bad
is a
as
bill.
fuck. Bad as
She's a
fuck.
whole
Niggas
bill.
just can't wait to get with her.
Right.
My nigga said she's a headache.
Right. Facts.
She's
That's
a
what he
bill.
said. I'm cool. You can have her. I'm cool. That's what my nigga said.
Take her.
Bad as fuck. Any nigga be like, nigga, you crazy.
Right.
But to him, he like, no, you crazy because you don't know her.
Right.
You know what I'm
Well-
saying? I already experienced another type of side of her. I'm cool on that.
To
Facts.
add to both of your points, Randall C. Davis again said, teach, brother. He was actually speaking to
Ooh,
you,
yes,
HSN.
yes.
Shout out to the
And he
Most High.
said, because when a man finds a good wife, a wife, he finds a good thing, but the good is what comes out of him.
I like
no,
that.
That's a fact, because I'm gonna tell you this, because my rib, she does what she does, and I know she's not doing it strictly for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's doing it for the Most High.
Yes.
That means what I'm doing is also so that the Most High doesn't become blasphemy. I don't want him to look and say I made him a
Blaspheme.
black man and now I'm ashamed of this nigga.
Mm-hmm.
When I seen him
hold
as
on, bro. What does that word blasphemy mean?
ashamed.
A
Blasphemy.
shame.
Embarrassed.
A shame. You don't want to embarrass.
Regretful.
She don't want to embarrass the Most High.
You don't want to, because you're not
Think
gonna,
about that.
You're not going to embarrass me.
Now, what kind of girl, what type of nigga would pass up a girl who would say, I don't want to blaspheme the Most High? I'm going to watch how I conduct myself because I don't want to blaspheme
dig
the
this.
I don't
So-
want to embarrass the Most High.
I'm going to tell you how important this is. So even when she's mad at me, she stays in her place, not because she's controlling her anger because no. She understands she loves the Most High and she trusts what He asks her to do. So even I could be dead wrong, and she'll be like,
He's
okay.
gonna correct
and she'll,
it
co-
'cause
and she'll
he-
come
that's
to me
my
later and say,
God.
babe, you was wrong, but I understand. It's all
But
good.
it's all good.
So I gotta say, so
I
like,
got your back.
I think that's what we have to teach our people, and it's not so much like Jay said. I think that's very true in a one-on-one, right? But that doesn't do anything for the people outside of my household.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That helps me and my children. But what about the black kid who doesn't have a dad?
Right.
Or the black kid who don't have a mom,
Right.
or don't have a good example to look at. That's what we should be looking at as a community. Because even if you don't teach the kid down the street, that kid down the street's gonna date your daughter.
Right.
Correct.
So it's in your
So
best
it's a
interest.
village.
It's in
Are
your
we
best
talking about a
interest, right?
village?
It's in your best
Yes.
interest to make sure that we pass this information along and we try to
Yes.
teach these young ladies what we need them to do, how we
Yes.
need them to conduct themselves. Because ultimately, y'all teach the children,
Now, you said you married.
right?
Oh, so we don't get current.
No,
I don't,
no,
I don't
no.
get you in no trouble.
No, you
I don't
can
get you in no
ask.
trouble.
I can't get in
I
trouble.
don't
I
get
can't
you
get
in
in
trouble.
trouble.
I was trying to ask him too. I was going to ask him too because he said I started talking about sex. They start talking about intimacy. I'm educated. I know exactly what intimacy. I know intimacy is different than sex, but I didn't ask him
Right.
about. That's why I said, "Ho, bro," but I didn't ask you about intimacy. I know intimacy. That's great that you got intimacy. We're not talking about intimacy. Men need
You're
sex.
talking about physical, right?
Yeah, the men need sex.
Right, right.
Yeah, intimacy, yeah, but men want to have sex. I'm saying, have you experienced a situation where you have been sex has been used against a weapon? Maybe not currently,
Used as
because I
a
don't want to get
weapon?
you no trouble.
No, yeah, definitely not currently, but
Go ahead.
hell no. Shout out to my man for that one too. Shout out to
do
Shawty.
that.
But you see the man's face when he said that? Because it's so common.
Yeah, hell no.
It is.
It's so common for men to say, Dan was like, men have to, that's why I wanted to ask, Dan want to talk to a woman, why do women feel like men have to earn sex? That's what I want to know.
Great question.
Why
Well,
is
the
it an
thing
earning thing? Like he has to do this, and then he gets like, say, or if a man
Well,
do wrong, he gets in the doghouse. That type of thing.
No. Because at the end of the day, I mean, I used to, but even as, that's just dangerous territory to me. Like, you just asking for problems at that point if you use sex as a weapon. And they discussed it. Even, as I grew up as Jehovah's Witness, they said, women, I would advise you not do that, sisters. One has nothing to do with the other. It's like releasing toxins for a man. I used to date a guy every morning. I would wake up. It was just like clockwork, like in the morning. Clockwork, just roll over. It was like nothing. I mean, you'll be okay. You'll be all right. You just go on about your day. And that's just what it was. I'll be knocked out asleep like, oh, God. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh,
That's
Jesus
hilarious.
So you never use that part of your body for power?
No, as a weapon, no. I like sex too. No, what am I gonna do that for? I don't play those type of games. I don't play those type of games. And now has there been times where I was mad and been like, yeah, nigga, you get on my nerves. He come in the bed and wants it. Then what I'm gonna do? Say no? Like I don't care. That may just kill everything.
Right.
And then you just go on, and just maybe it wasn't that serious in the first place. Now, so it's just like I feel like it's just a connection. It is a connection. And these Italians, I'm telling you, they are hot for their women. They love their wives. From what I've seen, in a lot of Italian homes, because I was around a lot of Italians at one point. So I've seen, how they lust over their women, how they love their women, how traditional the roles are. And, some, it was just ingrained in them. They love their family, and sex was important. She was like, girl, every single morning. I'm like, oh my God, every morning. It was like,
taught.
And night and morning.
Taught.
You
hear that?
Wake up to it and go to bed with it, and it was just part of their routine, and they were genuinely happy. So,
I asked that because I've known two things I know from men. Men say that sex is a weapon and women don't listen. I'm like, well, if women know that, and I think about my own experiences, like that is exactly right.
I'm gonna tell you why this never happens. Just shout out to my rib for this. This is the reality though, right?
Okay.
I had this conversation with my wife before we even crossed the line.
Okay.
I can have as many wives as I want. That'll govern all that ration and pussy shit real quick. So you can try to ration that pussy if you want to. Now, if I fuck around and get two, now it's gonna be on you. So look, that removes all of that shit right there. So I'll fuck around and go get another one, and I'll have two wives, and then I can pick between the pussy. So I ain't that kind of nigga, and she understands that's well within my rights. Now, for you brothers out there listening to this story, y'all getting way too hyped. So I'm gonna let me give y'all the knowledge. The reason
don't be going to threaten to go get more wives.
No, that's not a threat. No, I'm saying her reality, right? Her reality is she knows that I'm not obligated to one woman. Right? So she knows it. So she doesn't have that same leverage.
According to your standards.
No, according to the Most High. So she doesn't have that leverage that most women have where a man can only be with one woman. So if that's a man's reality, now he's stuck in this position where if I can't have this pussy, I can't have no pussy. That's his reality.
That's
and she
why
knows
so many men don't want to get married.
But now, if the woman knows that's not my reality, that's no longer a weapon. Now we actually have to communicate like adults.
Right.
Now you actually have to be reasonable.
Now we got to communicate.
Now we got to
adults.
talk about this shit because
I love it, bro.
But the trip part on my side is, and this is for you brothers listening, because I don't want to hype nobody up the fuck up. The reason I don't have multiple wives is because at this age I finally understood the responsibility that comes with being the leader and actually being the man of your household and somebody looking at you for instruction and looking at you for direction and relying on your word. Like, that's a lot.
It's a lot of responsibility.
And it's a lot of me
more
learning
more responsibility.
And it's a lot of me learning about myself, and dealing with another person.
Shout out to you, bro.
And having to be there and shit. And, like, that's deep. And it's easy for a nigga to be like, I got 5 bitches, but you only talk to this one on Tuesday. Or you only talk to this girl on the weekends.
Yeah.
How do you think she feeling Monday through Thursday?
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
That's a fucked up reality. So that's what governs my decision,
you,
not to be a nigga and just take advantage of that, But I think the reality governs her situation too.
Correct.
To understand that, hey, this
Yeah.
nigga's not stuck in these rules.
Yeah, he's not confined to these
Like
terms,
everybody
and
else,
I can't
you know?
wield my
Yeah.
pussy as a sword.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all
Against
make
you.
light of
That's
it.
fucked
Y'all
up.
make as light of it. I'm glad y'all
No,
are.
'cause
But
that's real
I'm
shit.
telling you, so many men. That's why they go. That's why prostitution is like it is. That's why strip
Facts.
clubs today is like it is because the nigga is married, but then he go his wife. He's a problem at home. He can't do what he want
Right.
with his woman at home. I don't know what LeBron y'all live in. But the niggas I talk, people I know,
Yeah,
most
no.
men, most married men that I know and I've
But we're
talked to,
exceptional people.
there has been a problem. They'll say, I've been at the strip club. I meet married men at strip clubs. I know what the fuck I'm talking
Right.
about.
Yeah.
They doing shit with the stripper and the prostitute. I know girls who were doing prostitution, who was getting with married niggas, who was giving them whatever they wanted to give them. Why? Because they couldn't do what they wanted to do with their wife at home.
Right. That's fucked up.
And their wife would just be like, in some wives, didn't even give a fuck.
Yeah, like go out there, get it,
This
y'all. Just don't bring
shit.
me home nothing. Don't bring me
Don't
no
bring me
babies,
home nothing.
child.
Don't bring no
That would hurt
babies
my
home
feelings,
nothing.
nigga.
Oh man,
My-
that means she
I
gives
ain't
zero
having sex
fucks
with this
about
nigga.
you. I can't.
Just don't kill me,
Okay,
nigga. I ain't gonna fuck with
listen,
you,
a
bro.
threesome. They're talking about threesomes. Shout out to all y'all swingers out there. I love it. I ain't mad at y'all. Not. You know, I don't knock shit. I am not clutching my pearls. I ain't no none. Okay, far from perfect. However, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, to me, to watch my man, the one that I love and put my trust in, bang another bitch, young lady, woman, female, and her yelling and screaming my man's name, I'm liable to choke that bitch.
Even-
right in the
even
middle
right
of it. The thought of it infuriates me. Okay? I cannot share what I love. I'm stingy as fuck. Like, genuine. I don't think that shit is cute. If who is it? The doctor that says something about being, how dare you show up with this white woman on your arm? I forgot who I'm talking about. Yeah, I know who I'm talking about. He's a doctor. I forget his name. Oh gosh, Jabari, help me out. So this doctor says, he says, if you can watch your man fucking another woman and he could do that in front of your face and see you okay with that, he is fucking mad bitches behind your back all the time because you were okay to see that. So what you don't know won't hurt you.
But one thing I know about men,
If you can watch it and I can watch you doing that, then he thinks that gives him license to do whatever he wants.
but one thing I can say about men and most men that I can say, if a man is committed to a woman, he committed to her for a reason. Like, he really loved this woman. Like, and most of the time, if she's taking care of her business, most of the time, niggas don't even want the headache of another girl. Like, that's what niggas don't really talk about.
Facts.
Then once you have sex with other women, you're inviting yourself to more headaches, more problems.
Facts.
Niggas understand that. So
Facts.
they would rather just have the one
Willy
woman that
Wonka,
they
you're funny.
love and that they already have this relationship with. They already got understanding. Just to drop it like it's hot for him and it's cool. And most men will just be cool with that. We are creatures of habit.
Agreed.
I'm sorry.
They'll just be like, oh, okay, I only want, oh, baby, it's morning time. Let me come in, come here, let's get it.
Listen.
And then they get a new woman, and then that's two headaches now.
Okay, listen. So, Aaron Samuel, you know who volunteers with us at
What's
times.
up, bro?
Yep, he said, what's up to you, too. He said, I've always said, if you drop money you spend on hoes on your lady, you will never have a problem.
Facts.
Well, if you're, but if
I
your
like
lady,
that, Aaron Samuel.
but if your lady was keeping doing what she's supposed to do, you wouldn't even want to drop no money on no hoe. You're like, nah, bitch, I ain't giving you I'm gonna take my girl out to eat.
Facts.
What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm taking my girl
Yeah,
out.
I would feel embarrassed.
Right.
if I
You
did.
tripping?
Yeah, I would feel
Right.
embarrassed.
Tripping? I ain't taking you out to eat. I'm taking my girl out to eat.
Yeah, I feel like
My
a sucker
girl,
if I did that
I'm taking my girl to the mall. I'm taking my girl
Right.
on vacation. Nigga, what the fuck's wrong with you? If your girl really was holding it down, a real nigga be like, I ain't fucking up with my girl for you. What's wrong? I know niggas like that.
Right.
I ain't fucking with my girl for you. You think I'm gonna mess up with my girl for you?
But yeah,
Bitch,
y'all
you
can fuck this
tripping.
bitch in front of you. Have threesomes and think that shit is cute.
I
like,
don't know
so
about
one
niggas.
has
I don't
nothing
know
to
niggas
do.
doing that.
Oh, you don't? Oh, okay.
I don't-
Maybe
yeah, I
that's a
don't-
new thing.
I don't do that.
Listen, I don't feel like nothing
That's some
is
media
new under the sun.
propaganda shit.
But I feel like in these songs, you
Culturally,
know,
right.
you know, Kanye
Yeah.
West, you know, have you ever had, you know, your girl give your girl her girl for her birthday or whatever,
No.
and You know,
Niggas
like,
don't want problems
all
with their
that
girls.
shit.
Niggas
Well,
know
in
once
this
something
culture,
come
in this
in.
day and age, that is very popular. It's
I mean, that's what. No.
I need them in
no,
doubles. I need them in.
No,
you know.
that's what's promoted.
Oh,
That's what's
okay.
promoted.
So
but
that's
in
just-
actuality, most niggas is not having threesomes.
But no, that's
Niggas
that's
ain't in that
100%.
tight.
First of
Niggas
all,
ain't
yeah,
on that
yeah,
tight level to be
yeah.
getting threesomes.
Yeah,
Like,
let's
it's not
crack that
common for
shit,
niggas to be
yeah.
getting
Thank you.
threesomes.
I
Like,
don't
that's
believe
not
90%
common.
of niggas.
It's a small percentage of niggas
Facts.
who is getting threesomes.
And then
So
what's the
most
quality?
niggas ain't even getting
Oh.
pussy regularly.
And then what's the
What
quality of your threesome, nigga?
Listen, okay, so listen,
You
Randy
know?
C. Davis said, so is there a difference? Oh, wait, hold on. Is there a difference between a prostitute and a married woman? So is there a difference between a prostitute and married woman other than medical and life insurance when she wants a new $1,000 bag and she fucks? So she is fucking you for that bag
No, it's a,
as a husband. You know, your wife is fucking, I'm going to fuck you because I'm going to put it on your ass because
Well,
I
if
want
my
this
wife
new
is-
bag. What is the
no,
difference?
then that she just know me. Then. She just know
yeah,
my
it's-
buttons.
But what's
if
the
it's your
difference?
wife, there's
Because if my wife give me
familiarity
something,
is first thing. Is first
Yeah.
thing. It's familiarity. It's my wife. Like,
Okay, that's my wife.
it's different. It's tricking. It's different than I'm giving to my wife. My wife, you supposed to get your wife.
I'm
whatever she
investing.
asks
It's
for,
an
whatever she
investment.
wants.
If I'm investing into your happiness, right, then I
Yeah.
don't have any problem with that. But if I'm investing in your happiness and you just leaving,
Yeah.
that's it. That's the end of my investment, nigga.
But that's different than you fucking
Fuck
the girl.
that.
She wouldn't even fuck with you unless you getting her bags and shit. That's a
that's-
whole different conversation. Like she wouldn't
Okay.
even fuck with you if you wasn't
and
doing
that's
shit for
I
her.
feel like that's the space we in now. In
That's what niggas don't
I
want to
mean,
talk
I felt,
about.
I felt like he was
Right.
coming from like maybe the not committed side of it. It's just kind of like, well, you know, if these hoes out here are fucking for bags, you know, what's the difference between a woman fucking her husband for $1,000 bag? You know,
It's her husband. That's
that's the
that doesn't
difference.
make sense.
So
she's
that's the
husband.
difference,
It's
Randy.
her husband.
Like,
That's
yeah,
her husband.
after she gets the, after she
Not
gets the bag,
any,
It's her husband.
not
Go back to the
anyone,
house.
not everyone. She ain't
not a
everybody's.
job.
Yeah. Oh, it's her job.
No, I
Ooh,
said
did
it's
you
not
say
a
that?
job.
Oh, I
It
thought
is
you
a
said
job.
it's her job.
I mean, job. A
I mean, it's a
prostitution
it's
is
a
literally a
duty.
job.
Oh, okay.
Oldest
so,
profession, actually.
okay.
It's a profession.
So a
Prostitution
prostitution is a profession, and
Yeah.
she is just living out the duties to
Yeah.
her
So
husband,
a-
fulfilling her obligation as a wife.
To her husband.
To
A
her
prostitute is saying,
husband.
I need to
Okay.
get some money, let me go fuck somebody
Right.
today. Like you saying, I need to go, I'm a chef, I need to go make some money, let me go cook somebody some food.
Right.
So a prostitute said, I need to go fuck somebody, I need to pay my bills today.
right.
I'll play basketball, let me go shoot some basketball so I can make some money to feed my family. A prostitute is saying the same thing. I need to go fuck somebody. It's a profession.
And look, and the difference is a man. If it's my wife, I'll
Thank you,
go get her the
K-Dot.
bag.
Chicken, if you got it.
I'll go get her the bag if it's my wife, right? If it ain't my wife, I might just get a bitch the money. I might not even have patience to go get the fucking bag. I might like, bitch, just take the money.
Just
Fuck
take
off.
the money.
I'm not finna go to the
And
store and
that's
stand in
what-
line for
But
that
she
goofy
gets
shit.
the bag too.
But listen. And that's what
Your point.
and this is another
She gets the bag
conversation.
too.
That's another conversation I had on Facebook. Someone said, like, talking about tricking. I said, actually, a woman is being devalued when you give her money.
Every
She don't
time.
even realize
Yes,
it.
that's
She
an
being
insult.
devalued.
That is
Like,
an insult.
money, like, nigga,
That's an insult.
all I'm worth is your money.
That's an IOU, FYI.
Well, that's a here. I'm paying you to leave, bitch. Leave.
Basically, I don't want
It's
to
no,
not
let's-
listen,
let's
you
take
don't
it
pay
deeper.
him to
Say-
stay. You pay him to leave.
Danny, take it deeper. Say if I buy you the $1,200 bag, right?
Okay.
And we actually look at the actual value of the bag.
Oh goodness.
So the actual materials that are used to make this product, not the hype, not the value placed on it,
Right.
the actual value.
Right.
Now, say the actual value of that actual bag is $10
Here's what you're
Damn.
worth.
in
Damn.
total material.
Right.
In reality, you worth $10.
That's
In reality.
Damn.
That's 10.
So you're saying.
But in
sold
made up value, I'm gonna give you
$10.
$1,500.
You sold
But
your
in
pussy
reality, you're only worth $10.
For $10
Oh my
worth of
goodness.
materials.
Yeah, that's that's
Actual
how demeaning. But people
value.
don't. That's why I said we live in bizarro land. People don't look at it that way. Like a woman to say I'm gonna have sex just for money. Well, you had money is the lowest on the totem pole. Like your soul, your value is here. Money is at the bottom.
Right.
You're trading that for money. Like
Exactly.
What the who? How stupid are you?
I got you. And then, well, sometimes, I mean, okay, so I feel like as if men sometimes demand or require certain things, and that's just for
That's-
them. You know, like they need sex. We don't. Some women don't need it as much as you guys do, and our
and so-
value is in things that can provide that we like for
So let me
ourselves.
ask you a question. Why don't women say that they have a low libido when you meet them? Why don't women say, I don't require sex as much? Why don't women? That should be a thing that women say to
Well,
men.
you were built
hey.
like a man. You're a man. You guys are hunters and seekers and conquerors.
But I'm saying it's different.
Women
Like you
are
said,
there
you
to-
love sex, right?
According to Righteous One, just have I do, but
So
I have
let's
a
say
very
you, let's say-
masculine energy about
Let's
me.
say.
I'm not like
so-
your average chick.
So we get 1 to 10. Let's say you are what level you at?
With sex wise,
Yeah,
I'm
like,
down.
this-
I'm
your
down,
desire for
down,
sex, your
down,
libido.
down.
10.
No, a
Down.
10. Let's say
That I desire.
Let's place a
10
scale.
is a higher
10
desire.
is every day. Like you have
Yeah.
to. No,
Well,
not
I don't
want
have to.
Have to every day.
I'm not like Black Snake
Okay, so
Moan,
let's
but
go
if I'm
down
in a
from there.
relationship,
Right.
So go down from
No.
10. What number are you then?
I'm not gonna go down.
So
from
5
10. If I'm
is
in a
maybe a-
relationship, then I want to have sex every day.
So if you're in
I
a relationship,
do.
it's a 10.
Huh?
If you're in a
Then-
relationship, you on 10.
For sure.
Okay.
Okay,
I think
okay.
men, the smartest
I
thing a
want to
man
be
can do.
desired. It's like, no, I want my man to want to fuck me. I do. I want that. ain't no
Oh,
burden. Like
that's
I was
it.
like, no, I
But
want that.
I think as men,
that
I
means
think
that you're on me. You ain't got time for nothing else, and I'm okay with that. We're connected too, and now we're starting to
You
form a bond, and
smart as
it's
fuck.
all that. And you're leaving. Well, I mean, if you're technically in it, like we are exchanging,
Energy.
every single day, and it's like,
Wow.
wow, our energies. It's a synergy now.
Wow.
And we are completely connected. So
If
I
you
don't
mind,
mind that.
If you don't mind, how old are you?
I'm going to be 40 on the 23rd.
Do you think it's an age thing? You think it's like, were you different at 20
No,
as you
I
are
always-
now?
always-
You think you'll be the same at 60?
I've always been hot in the ass.
You think at 60, you know what I'm saying? Because it could be
Ask
an
my
age.
exes.
You think you always been hot
All
in
my
the ass.
exes live in Texas. No,
I think as men, I
Okay.
think, what about if we, I'm talking to you now, bro.
Yep.
What
Well,
about if
not
we,
kidding, but-
we ask women when we first begin to date them, whatever, what is your level? It's because you might think about, you might get with a woman you love, you might fall in love with a woman who's a 1.
Right.
But she loves you, but she doesn't have a desire for sex like that. Like to her, sex, she can go the whole month. She don't even give a fuck about sex. Well, for you, it's a desire, and there's some men who don't have a desire like that too. But I'm saying for
Right,
women,
right.
but women control it in a relationship. So think about
Can't
you
that
get.
man just get 2 women then? What's wrong with that?
I think that's why that's why the Most High gave David multiple women. I think that's why.
You feel me? Like, all right.
But David wanted well,
He
no,
just
no,
made-
no.
He
Who
did.
was
He's
it?
talking about
David.
Are we talking about King David?
King David.
And the one that got
Bathsheba.
Abigail,
Abigail.
Bathsheba.
You know your
Of
Bible.
course.
Come
Are you kidding? I was
on.
raised I was winning.
Yeah, smash.
But this is the cold part about this shit. Okay, so David was just out. He was seeing her bathing in the bath. She was just taking a bath.
That's a
Somebody
bad
else's, her husband, she was married, and he was just like, dang, he did not stop coveting somebody else's wife.
Woman,
And he felt
right?
like he was a king. So then he was like, dang, you know what? I want her. So he went, had her husband, first of all, wrote orders to his soldier, to his head in charge, his commander, his lieutenant. Took that handwritten letter. He said, here, I want you to deliver this to your superior. He went there, gave him the letter. The letter said, have this nigga put in the front of the enemy line so that he could be killed immediately.
Right.
He then marries marries his wife, gets her pregnant, and then what happens to that baby?
He died.
Exactly,
died.
because that shit was not divine. It was out of
Man,
all.
you know your
you
Bible,
knew what
huh?
you did. Like that was some
You know
cold
what,
shit.
Danny, I'll be giving my sermons on Saturday sometimes, and you just broke down a hell of a scripture for me.
Didn't she? Woo!
You just shared some.
See, I'm not just cute. No, I'm just like kidding.
You just shed some real light on that. That when Moses came and gave those commandments, that's like me talking. If me and this brother got a relation, I don't have to go into too much detail about our conversation, right? You understand? Don't covet another man's wife, or don't commit adultery, right? Which is don't have sex with another man's wife. But as you fast forward, and you got to keep in mind, as you guys read these, if you guys read the scriptures, all these lessons are learned through time, through events that actually took place in history, so we observe and we learn from it.
Absolutely.
So I never really got the point of Jesus telling people, the moment you start looking at this woman,
you already committed that sin.
but
in
why?
your heart.
I didn't understand, but he said in your heart. I didn't understand that, right? Your heart is referring to your mind, the way you think. I
Yeah,
didn't
you
understand
did it
that,
already.
But when you just brought the story out about David, it actually puts a real life example to that actual scenario of him. He didn't sleep with her while she was married.
Nope.
Right.
So
Come on now.
So he technically
Didn't
Right.
sin.
Didn't
Right.
sin.
Right.
But Jesus had to come and explain
Right.
that,
Ooh.
nigga, you was trying to be slick.
You was
nigga.
trying to be
Yeah,
slick.
you did.
You was trying to be
exactly
slick.
what the hell you was doing.
'Cause the
You
Bible
knew exactly
says-
what the hell you was doing.
So, nigga, you
You
tried to
knew
be
it.
slick, nigga. So because you tried to be slick,
You
trying to
tried
be
it.
slick.
You tried it, David.
I'm gonna have to break it down to the point to say, hey, don't even look, because even say you
and then
say
his
you
people
look over
were in
there.
jeopardy too.
Say
He
you
lost
look
a
over
lot.
there.
He compromised a lot.
Imagine I look over there and say, oh damn, she fine, and then nigga say, yo, she married, and I go, okay, she married. I can still look though.
No,
Right.
you cannot.
That's what David did.
Yes,
Right.
that
David
is
said,
Right.
no, I can still look.
I can
But
still
what
look
that
at
turned into?
that scene
Hey man,
that was
listen, nigga,
planted.
put this nigga in the front, man.
Why put this
There
thing
you
in the
go.
front?
I like her.
Yo,
I don't want to.
Yo.
I don't
I
want
like
to break
her.
no sin. I ain't want to commit no sin, but
Yeah,
put
I
something
don't-
in the front.
Yeah.
Like that's a like I can actually apply that to real life and,
Yes.
and really truly get an understanding of what it means and how can
To
how can
covet.
how can you apply not to cover another man's wife?
And
There
my
you
question
go.
is, how can you not love the Bible? Just from this story right here, this is what's going on right now. This is 5,000, 7,000 years ago, but this story is prevalent. The spirit of the story resonates today. How could you not love the Most High and just love His book and just read it and just take it and just like, oh my God, this is fascinating to me.
That's how it trips me out. I be looking at it the same way.
It's fascinating to me. Like, what? This is still happening? Are you serious? It's still happening today? How? It's still going on right now.
That's the amazing part to me is that these things that were talked about 4,000 years ago
Are still applicable to this day.
How are we applying this in
To
2020?
this
How?
day, because
In
it's human
2021.
nature.
Like,
It's innate.
We can
It
solve
is innate.
black on black crime with a 4,000-year-old rule. Love
Wipe
thy
it out.
neighbor.
Eradicate
Man, listen,
that shit.
we
We
can
could
get
eradicate
rid of the
black
whole
on black
credit
crime
industry.
by
The whole
applying-
credit industry. But usually, when I
Because
was
the Bible says, "Oh no man, nothing."
but to love.
So I can't even get a credit card if I can't
Nope.
go into your debt. Don't go into debt. Get
I
what
can't
you
even
get.
go into debt.
But that requires you to pay me when I work. now.
But
Yep.
you don't work.
So now it's gonna fuck the whole system up. Because now if you don't pay me when I work, I gotta get credit because I don't have the money
Right.
until next
Exactly.
Friday.
And then that's
When
the
I read
rabbit
this
hole.
book-
and then
That's a
down the
cold-
rabbit hole you
that's a
go.
cold-
When I read
There
this
you
book
go.
and I look at how we live today, I say, whoa, we live in bizarro land. Like, this shit it's fascinating to me, like,
Right.
how we live. And then we think that these people are dumb. Like, this is antiquated. This is antiquated knowledge right here.
Right.
But yet we're doing the opposite of what they're saying. And look at our shit. People have literally went $200,000, $300,000 in student loan debt, and right now they're petitioning the government to wipe their.
Right.
They said it's crippled a whole generation. Is what they're saying right now, bro.
Facts.
It crippled a whole generation. This fake college bullshit.
Think about this. I thought about this. Somebody said this the other day. We were talking about big mamas and
You
stuff. And,
guys calling.
and it hit my head that our generation didn't grow up in the home generation.
Right.
We grew up in the renters generation.
Mm.
So when you look at the grandmothers that are coming up,
Right.
they're not even going to have that family home.
Right.
I remember growing up and in the back of my head, thank God I never needed it, but I always knew if anything happened,
Go to grandma's
I
house.
can pull up
You
at
can
my
always go to
grandmother's house.
grandma's house. You could get that mail
I get a
there.
food. I might get $10, nigga.
Right.
I'm gonna have somewhere to sleep.
Yeah.
She'll give me some game if
Always.
I'm sick.
Yep.
And I start thinking about these
Breakfast.
kids now, like, what
Right.
the fuck are they,
They
gonna
don't have
do?
anything to fall
Well,
back on.
They don't have no knowledge to fall back on. No, they ain't got no recipe books. My
Right.
grandma got a recipe book.
Woo!
Right.
When the last time I ain't even seen a woman write down a motherfucking recipe.
Right. They don't know about the prune juice staying in the refrigerator, the castor oil. You know
None
what
of-
I'm saying?
that shit
All of
fucking
those
me up.
things.
I'm like, man, we in
Sunsweet was
trouble.
in our home.
We in trouble as a community.
But-
we in trouble.
We are.
But the Most High said, yeah, because you.
But we chose this.
The Most High
the
said,
fucked up
you
part.
spurn my laws. Like, you want to get rid of my laws. Not only do you don't follow them, you want to get rid of my laws. Like, how fucked up are you?
Right.
This shit I'm telling you is for your best interest, bro.
Hello.
Do this right here, and you're going to live. Don't speak no deceit.
why-
It was
do we
somewhere
think
in
black
James
people
where
are
he
all
said, "Follow my commandments, and my commandments
Are
are
not
not
grievous."
burdensome."
Not
Yeah.
burdensome.
So we heard burdensome in our. It was
Oh,
just
okay,
our
okay,
version,
yeah, right.
but it was the same shit, same principle, same ideology.
So you know what that told me?
What did
when I
that
read
tell
that?
you? Because I'm like, sometimes your commandments are burdensome, and the only reason why I
Danny-
be following them sometimes is so I wouldn't die.
That's what I
So
thought.
that's how it's
But
like.
then- that's what I
You're
thought, but
being
then-
unreasonable now.
Then you know what I had to realize? I'm fucked up.
Hello.
I'm fucked up. I'm fucked up.
I really sat back. I said,
I'm fucked
Like,
up.
for your own good, dummy.
I said, why do I have a problem?
I'm on the show right now.
I was like, why do I have a problem with treating a black man how I want to be treated? Why do I have a problem respecting black women? Why do I have a problem not wanting to hear black murder all the time?
Right.
So it started. I said, no, nigga, I got a problem. Something is really wrong with me. That I don't want to be a good person. That I want to justify evils.
Yes.
And make it seem like it's a cool That's the reality. It's not grievous to do.
And that part of accountability is
it
what most of our Hebrew brothers who get the knowledge, then they gonna say it's the white man's fault. That's what they come on next. No.
That's why I'm not
No.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with the white man. That's your heart, brother.
Right.
Your own heart. You're being tempted by your own lust, not the white man's lust.
That's the scary part.
Your lust, not his lust.
So we're our own evils. Yeah, we're our own worst enemies.
We are. How I explain the white people. I don't have any hatred towards white people as the individuals. I look at white people like a belt.
Yeah. Okay.
Like when my mom used to whoop my ass as a kid, I didn't hate my mom. I hated the belt.
Gotcha.
Every time she grabbed, I hated that. I tried to hide it.
Yeah.
I tried to destroy that motherfucking belt. It was a thick ass black one. I can still remember. It's probably a police belt from my granddad. She was heavy.
But that leather.
That motherfucker was heavy.
But think about where the root of whipping comes from.
But no.
Slavery.
But
I mean,
why
just
was
think
I
about
getting,
that too.
But why was I getting a whooping? You know why? I couldn't govern myself.
Right. Come on now.
That's what. Because her telling me to clean up had nothing to do with me.
Right.
That had nothing to do with her. She's telling me to clean up for my benefit.
For your
It's
benefit.
beneficial for me to have a clean room.
Yes.
So for me to not do it had nothing to do with. So
yes.
It hurt
And
you.
you so
You were
stiff-necked and
committing sins
rebellious,
against
and she gotta
yourself,
beat your
basically.
ass
She gotta whoop
because
my
you
ass.
so stiff-necked and rebellious that you don't even understand. No, nigga, it's your best interest to
Right.
keep your room clean. So I gotta beat your
if you
ass.
don't, you're not gonna have
so
a
you
room.
understand.
If you don't keep your room clean, you're not gonna have a room to keep clean.
There you go.
If you don't take care of your shit, you're not gonna have. So you know what I had to apply that shit to? I said, you know what? Because the Bible says the same way a good father would discipline his child.
Right.
The Most High said, because I have known you and not the other families of the world, I will discipline you.
Right.
This is why blacks and Hispanics get it the worst. So me knowing that the same way my mom disciplined me, more than she did talk shit to the other kids, because I'm her responsibility.
I'm a responsibility.
And she loves me enough that either I'm going to beat your ass to correct you, or I'm going to say fuck you and lead you to the wolves.
Right.
And I feel like that's what we are as a people. Either we're going to get our ass whooped. And I look at white people like that belt. Like this is the correction stick. Who's better at murder than these group of people? Who's better at abuse? Because everyone's had slavery. Every nation on this planet has gone through a process of slavery.
Right.
When you look at the history of it, white people have done it the best. They've mastered the art of slavery.
Yes, they did.
To the point
Jim
we
Crows.
make movies and books about it, right? So
The
what
Willie
better
Lynch,
people
yep.
to assign to get these people in line than these people who've mastered this thing?
Now, one thing I want to do say while we talking about that is Willie Lynch. Willie Lynch just exposed what was in a nigga heart already.
Facts.
Yes.
Willie Lynch ain't do nothing. They
He just gave you a guide to do
They
it,
didn't
a
give. They give him way too much credit. Willie Lynch ain't do shit. That little he was just telling niggas with the truth. This is how niggas operate. And here's how you can expound on the shit. Niggas already was against each other.
You guys
We
against
still
yourselves?
today. It's just a nature about if we're not in tune with the Most High, we're prone to compete with one another. We're prone instead of saying, okay, you're the image of the Most High, you're the image of the Most High. Instead, then we compare. It said those who compare themselves by themselves aren't wise. Like we're so busy. That's where we get this from.
Facts.
That's why we'll say a light skinned person. We fucking both humans.
Right.
Because your skin is a little lighter than mine, something's different. That's some bullshit. That's because that's our own evil being projected upon themselves. You can't blame somebody for that.
It's systematic racism in our own. It's embedded in us. It's in us, and that's just it
It's
was
so
that
interesting.
seed that has been planted, and
Facts.
we know that. We all know that.
Do
you
we?
know. I thought we did. We should.
I don't think. I honestly.
We should.
It's
Well,
cliche to say we know.
The Bible says.
It's
The Bible says, "Know thy enemy." It says, "Never trust thy enemy." As sure as iron will rust. He will.
He
so-
will deceive you.
You know what fucked me about
He
that
will
scripture?
deceive you.
It hit me. I said, "Wait a minute." That means.
He said, "As sure as iron will rust."
But that means you have an enemy, Danny,
Oh.
appointed by the Most High. So all this kumbaya shit just went out the window for me when I read that. I
Yeah.
said, "Wait a minute. He's appointed someone to go against you. He's appointed an adversary for you.
Correct.
Somebody
And what
to
do
go."
they say? If
but-
you don't have, you ain't great till you have hate. You
But
know, like
you know what? But let
you know?
me break it into layman's terms, right? you have an enemy because that enemy is getting you to back. Hopefully, the enemy is enough to you to see. I need to get the fuck back over here.
Right.
The enemy is to come and say you're traveling on the road, and your adversary is you go over here. The adversary is supposed to kick your ass enough to say no. Let me
Right.
get back over that side. I'm
Right.
going in the wrong direction. That's what the adversary. The adversary doesn't have a bad. It's not a bad person. It's not a bad job. It's actually it's designed. It's with wisdom to keep you on the right track.
And it
because
works.
if you didn't, you'd be all the way the
Look,
fuck over here.
And it
You'd
works
be
because
lost.
when I realized that either I got two choices: subject myself to God's laws, or deal with the consequences of this world. So I thought about that. I said, "Damn, I can either govern myself to how God wants me to live, or I'm going to be subjected to how a white man wants to govern his land." That's my options. I can either check myself or get checked by the land. That's it. There's no other way around it. So
Wow.
you're 100% right. I never point, as a man, I don't think you should ever point your finger at another man. You have to take responsibility for you and everything that comes your way.
And you definitely can't point your woman at your finger at your woman.
100%.
That's what you definitely can't
100%
because
no.
it is a reflection of you.
Facts.
Right.
It's a reflection of you, bro.
Facts.
It's you.
That is
it's
all
you.
you.
I know you don't want to hear that part,
But it's
it
true,
is.
though.
It's a reflection. It's you.
It is.
Are you disobedient? But
Damn.
then you're
What
going to
hap-
reap disobedience.
That's what I think, bro. When I deal with my relationship, I think about the same thing. If I ever have a conflict with my girl, I'll be thinking, like, she just don't listen. I'll be like,
Am I
I don't
listening?
listen sometimes. What the fuck am I talking about? And I'll be like, God probably looking at me like, yeah, nigga, how I feel.
How I feel.
How I feel, nigga.
How's
You
it
don't like
feel?
it, huh? Now just
You not
imagine how I
listening.
feel.
And I'm telling you for your best interest.
Right.
You feel like you telling her for her best interest. She
Right.
ain't listening. He said, well, I'm telling you for your best interest. So it's like, all right, but then our relationship with the Most High, the way it's supposed to be, is like, it's perfect that you got beautiful karma because that's what it is. It's like, I'm putting out this energy. I'm putting this energy that I'm teachable. So then you'll receive energy,
Facts.
teachable energy. But when you put out the energy that you know it, then you're going to receive the energy that you know it. You're going to get that proud, stiff neck. You're going
Right.
to get it right back. If you're rebellious, I guarantee you're going to find other places in your life where you feel people or some things. It's not always people either. Your dog may be rebelling against your dumb ass.
Facts.
That's the way it works.
Facts.
Life itself,
Fucking light a change on you, nigga.
everything,
Yeah.
everything
Well,
seems to be
that's how
conspired
they-
against you.
That's the, what do you call that? I'm at a loss for words. But anyway, that's the divine order. That's the order of the
Yes.
universe. You know what I mean? That's just how it works. Like, that's laws. It's laws. It's all laws. Like, you have laws of attraction. You have laws of gravity. They work the exact same way. It doesn't matter if you're a good man or a bad man. If you jump off that cliff, you're going to fucking, meet your maker very soon. No matter if you're good or bad. And that's just the laws of gravity. So the same rules apply in the laws of attraction. It's the divine order of the universe. However it is supposed to go, what you put out there is exactly what the hell you're going to get back.
And
Period.
look, and to that pride point, Danny, I read this the other day. I had never read this. This is Proverbs 6 and 16. It says 6 things does God hate, and the 7th is abominable. I had never even seen that he listed things he hates. The first thing is a proud look.
Proud look, lying tongue.
That fucked me up.
feet
I
that
said-
are quick to spread the mischief.
Yep.
Head, feet that are quick to shed. Feet,
What is
It's
feet
it?
that are
innocent
quick to
blood.
run innocent.
Innocent blood.
Feet that are quick to run to mischief. Hands that shed innocent blood.
And a
I
false-
said a lying tongue.
False witness. Yep.
A false witness.
Yeah.
And
Somebody who denounces the Holy Spirit, that's the unforgivable sin. Like,
I thought a prideful look was
a
interesting.
prideful look.
I thought that was interesting to be
A
first.
prideful look.
I thought to be first. I said, wow, that's the first thing he lists. I said, that's interesting. So, because that goes into governing yourself. That's the whole.
So
No
this is not our.
bullshit.
We are just vessels. This is just a vessel.
You know
we
God
not
is
even.
offended.
It's not even our mission. We supposed to do it as we were told. We were created
But why?
here for a purpose.
But why? We're supposed to do it so we don't make His word blaspheme.
Okay.
That's
Right.
the whole
Like,
point of us
I
governing
created
you.
y'all.
You know what's
But who does he have to answer to? If you the Most High, who does it matter? Who are you going up against?
No, he's not. No, to make His word blaspheme, you're gonna embarrass Him.
Right.
But against who?
Comparison.
The angels.
But against who?
Imagine you got all these. You got angels and shit. You got everybody.
Okay.
The people here.
That's what I'm
Imagine
saying
this.
here.
Imagine
That's
the
what I'm
world.
saying.
Imagine
That's
tomorrow.
what I'm saying.
Imagine how
Go
embarrassing
deep.
this is, Danny. Imagine how embarrassing this is. Imagine tomorrow, the world finds out that the same ones y'all been calling niggas are actually the chosen people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but
Woo.
that sounds good.
Well, that sounds like
It sounds good, but how embarrassed would you be when you look at the state of black people shaking it? Because you don't see the Jewish young ladies shaking their ass and shit culturally on Instagram,
Correct.
doing these things.
Right.
Correct.
You see us
Oh,
doing it
speak
culturally.
that.
So how embarrassed would you be to then
Tell the
find out that
people,
you're
woo.
royalty, but you've been acting so fucking disgusting?
Thank
You
you.
would be embarrassed.
Thank you.
So that's how I look at
Damn.
it. Like
And also,
And I'm just
also
thinking
them,
of it as fun and like this,
Right.
and I want to twerk and shake
But
my
imagine your
booty
dad
and,
looking
you
at
know,
that, he
I'm like,
going-
ooh. Well, see,
But
well,
also
yeah,
the embarrassing part,
I can't twerk.
the other embarrassing part that we don't talk about is that there are many gods. There's many gods. So it's like I'm boasting about my God. Let's take it in layman's terms. I'm boasting about my dad. You boasting about your dad. Everybody boasting about their dad, but my dad don't show up. My dad. And the things that we bragging about.
Ooh,
Yeah, let's go.
we got a
Come
call.
on. What you got to talk about? I'll stop.
call right back. I think I hung up on you. I got too hyped, man. I hit the
I know,
button
it was
twice.
like, boop.
I hit it quick. Boop, boop. I double tap that motherfucker. Call right back, caller. Let me give you the
Like-
number. Is 818-914-4087.
Embarrassing. It is embarrassing. You do embarrass. I tell you when God got embarrassed. COVID embarrassed.
And-
Churches were. How could you even step foot in a church again? That's what I want to know.
Right.
Why would you even waste your time? That's what I want to know.
How could you
If
even
God
explain
can't protect you from COVID, you can't. During COVID, He can't protect you in His own building. His own building where
Facts.
y'all worshiping Him, y'all praying, y'all giving your tithes, y'all drinking the blood, y'all eating crackers, y'all drinking
cranberry
blood,
juice.
y'all doing all this shit, and He can't protect you.
Yeah, you should at least get a refund.
Why are you even
nigga.
wasting your
You
time?
should at least get a refund.
Not a refund.
Yeah, why
I
are
at
you
least
wasting
need
your
some money
time?
back,
Like,
nigga.
if He
Critical
can't
thinker.
protect you,
Yeah.
man, you working for Him, you all around the globe ministering for
Facts.
Him, you doing all this work for Him, and He
Buying
can't protect
jets.
you from a bio disease that's 99% people are gonna recover from, and He can't protect you from that. You without getting a shot in your arm.
Now, righteous one, I think this one is directed towards you from Critical Thinker. The Most High is not affected by our choices. We're the ones affected.
Amen.
How
Right.
can you argue that if you have a true understanding of the Creator?
Who is what he's saying? The Most High
So-
is not affected by our choices.
We're the ones that are affected by it. So I think he's
Yeah.
saying like
No,
we
right.
go against us when we sin against him.
Right, but-
it's really
Yeah.
a sin against us, and he's not really, it's not up to him. He's like gonna be up to
That's
the
what I-
Most High.
But
That's
but
why I
It's like
stopped
it's
eating-
not a poor reflection on
It-
the Most High. Is what he's saying.
That's not true because I look at it like same way I would
I
look at my
think
father,
critical
right?
thinker.
Like
Ooh.
what governed my space in high school was the reason I didn't get into a lot of shit. And I was around the same niggas, gang members. We in a small circle. We all doing the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
What governed my choices was my father. I knew my dad would be embarrassed as fuck if he had to come pick
You
me
didn't
up
want
from
to
a
bring
precinct.
reproach on his name.
Nigga,
That's
I
a
would tell
common
niggas,
term
I don't
of
give a
Jehovah's
fuck what y'all
Witnesses.
talking about, nigga.
Yep.
I'm not getting arrested because
Wow.
my dad, he ain't going for it. He finna look
Right.
at me like, nigga, are you serious, nigga? I'm
Right.
doing all of this shit. I'm on the road. And I see this. Like, I see my dad hustling. He don't sleep. He up every night grinding. He'll
Right.
be
Amen.
so
Shout out to your dad.
he'll be so embarrassed. My dad didn't drink or smoke growing up because he
Yeah,
and he told
his
me
dad is
he
the
wanted
one
to set a
that
good
walked in
example.
there. Oh, okay.
So as a kid, I used to think that's what saved me a lot of times. Was like, damn, I don't want it. It wasn't me. I didn't give a fuck about what I was doing. I was young, but I would think like, if I got caught doing this and they had to come out, this nigga gonna be like,
He's gonna
Me
be
too.
livid. Like you
My
want me out here
nana,
on these streets.
like my nana. So my dad killed my mom and killed herself when I was 6 years old, and I was with my grandmother. My grandmother is like the most beautiful soul. Like the last thing I want to do is the police or somebody to come. When I got arrested, I was 25 years old when I went to jail. You know, I still am sad. I still
Right.
will apologize to my grandmother for the embarrassment and the shame that I brought on our family for my decision. My grandma cried to me and said like she felt responsible. I was like, no, Nana, I knew better.
right.
I just chose to get out with my nigga. We was doing, I knew better, but we chose to do something different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to bring shame on your family. It's like, it's saying it's a shame to the Most High, but like he's saying, what I learned, what made me stop eating shrimp and start doing other things, all this other shit, because the Most High was saying,
They're bottom feeders. No, I'm kidding.
the Most High was saying, I don't eat. I don't, it's not for me.
Right.
I don't go to the bathroom like you do. Like, I'm not going to be in the hospital with IVs on my
Calling
arm.
cancer.
You're going to be in the hospital with IVs in your arm. Not me. I'm in another existence. I don't even
Talking
operate
about
like you. Yes, then you're going to be praying. And the sad thing, I feel so sorry for Elohim because people, he tell you ahead of time, like when people go to the hospital, people get sick, he tell you a year, 2 years, 3 years ahead, don't do this behavior because this is going to happen to this. We don't listen. Then he don't come and like wave his miraculous hand. People get fucked up and then he gets blamed. Well, God don't heal, or I was praying and it didn't happen. No, God answered them 2 years ago.
Right.
When he told them don't do this shit. He said stop doing it. Hey, go exercise every day from now on. Go and work out your heart. From right now to the next few years, work out your heart right now.
Right.
Don't be sitting around eating this food all the time. Get out, work hard, go sweat, go perspire. Every day for the next year, I'm gonna need you to do this.
Right.
But that person don't do that.
He gonna turn that voice off.
He turns the voice off. He don't go exercise. He don't go out there with his friends. His friends are telling him, come on. He don't do none of that shit. He has a heart attack. People around here praying, putting oil on his body. Shit don't happen for him.
Right.
And they say, well, God, he don't heal. Like, no. God said, no. I was trying to heal him 2 years ago.
Right.
But he didn't listen to me. The simple passed on. He said, the wise take heed, but the simple pass on and are punished.
Okay, I have
I'm
a
sorry,
side
y'all.
question.
Facts.
Oh, no, this is just, I'm just reading these comments in the chat room. And Seymour has a great point, and she said, why is twerking disgusting? And I thought about other things to add to her point, but hula isn't. So, like, when you know, like all of that. Now, and then also belly dancing. There's also very subtle terms of women gyrating and shaking their hips.
Question.
And and that's an acceptable form of seduction, and that's okay.
Seymour.
But twerking
This is for
isn't.
Seymour.
Yes, her name is Seymour. Hey,
Would,
Seymour.
Would you ever see the Queen of England twerking or doing hula? Have you ever seen the Queen of England doing that?
So we're going to base our standards by her?
No,
it's not in her culture. She doesn't have the rhythm to do that.
It's a
She
question.
doesn't have the rhythm to do that.
question.
She can't.
It's a question. The reason why people of royalty present themselves in a certain way because it's an image thing.
I see Beyonce doing it, and she's a queen, and we
To
think
who?
that's our queen.
No. Beyonce
Queen's
is
a queen.
Beyonce
She's an
is
entertainer. You know what I'm saying?
Beyonce is paid to do that. Difference. The queen is the Queen of England is establishing her royalty. Beyonce is paid by Sony. Sony owns Beyonce. That's what y'all don't understand. Beyonce
I don't think anybody owns Beyonce. I think Beyonce owns everything. And Jay-Z, they're about to own everything.
You think they do? That's how the puppet works.
No, I got
He
you.
back there holding the strings. You don't see the
Jay-Z
strings.
owns a lot. He owns a lot. He does. He owns more than what he did before. He had to learn a lot.
No, you think you don't know what he owns. You think he owns a lot. Because you thought he owned part of the Brooklyn Nets too. But then you found out he didn't own a part of the Brooklyn Nets. You're saying you think.
Live Nation. He's got a lot of things going on in the works. But
I'm not saying he doesn't.
But to get back on the point about, it's not about it's about historical forms of, they have the geisha, the woman that did all these ceremonial dances. We have our Africans that do our, dances, and it all comes from something. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a culture thing. Why are we basing our standards on British rules?
I said the Queen of England because there's a thing in the world that royalty, people who know themselves, who know they
What about
are,
black royalty though? I
black
don't want to hear
royalty.
about.
I'm
I
saying
don't want to hear about
so
white
take away
royalty
because I don't care about them
they
either.
did the way they did
I
Meghan
don't care
Markle and
about
all
them
them.
either.
I don't give a damn about what that Queen Elizabeth.
Have you seen Michelle Obama twerking?
No.
Why not? She can twerk. She black. No. Black royalty. She probably is the symbol of black royalty today. Have you ever seen Oprah twerking?
No.
Why not?
I haven't.
She can. Why not? She black. She got rhythm. She's her singing jeans. Why not? Because it's an image. Tell me about the image of Oprah. Did you think? Describe Oprah to me.
I would
Clean
think,
cut.
Business
beautiful,
woman.
bitter. She keeps herself from sexual things. Have you ever heard Oprah affairs or something like that? Heard anything?
I have my own thoughts about that. But
anything about Oprah sexually? Have you heard anything publicly about? Have you seen any pictures of her titties, her ass out?
No.
Anything?
She
Why
has
not?
great image management.
Oh, it's great image for Oprah.
great image management.
So it wouldn't be a great
That's
image
just
if she was twerking?
But to me, it's image management.
So-
but who's to say that she doesn't
I'm
twerk, though?
asking you a
That
question.
doesn't say
No,
that
Danny,
she
my
doesn't.
question-
We don't know what she does
So I'm
behind
asking you.
closed
Don't.
doors.
Hopefully she
So
is
that's what
twerking
I
for
said.
her husband.
Image management. What husband? She doesn't have one.
So my
Whoever
question
her
is,
man is in her life.
Stedman Graham has been her partner for years. And so
Hopefully
is
she
Gayle
twerking for that
King. They're
nigga and
both
dropping
best
it down
friends.
like it's hot.
You know, like those are the two
Every
people
morning,
who
like
are
you,
solid.
like you. Every morning, twerking, drop it down, though, bro.
You already.
If you listen to her, drop it down every morning, though. Gotta keep it longer.
so Danny, based on that comment, I'm not saying you're saying this, but I'm asking.
Thank you.
are
Black women have been twerking since Africa.
So
Thank
look,
you.
I wasn't going to bring this up, and I'm glad you brought this up. So
Thank
look,
you.
I'm going to go back to Genesis 2 and 4.
You.
The sons of God saw the daughters of men, and that they were fair, and took them to be wives. This is important. A lot of people think this is talking about giants or angels having sex with women. I'm going to break it down so it can ever be broke. The name Israel, which is all of our last names by birth, right? Okay, actually means
He attends with angels.
the prince or the prince or the princess who has power with God, right?
Favor.
Literally, the
Favor with God.
translation of the sons of God saw the daughters of men and had sex with them. This is happening in Africa at the time, okay? That means Israelite men seen African women, was attracted to them, had sex with them. God had a problem with this. Why? It's not our culture. She said that black women been twerking since Africa. The Bible just said the same thing. This is true. This is where we got the culture from. It's not our culture. We got that from being in slavery in Africa and observing those women do these things. The Bible also says, envy not thy oppressor, choose none of their ways.
Choose none of their ways.
So because twerking is just simply not our culture.
So you're saying that you're Israelites and they were Egyptians.
Whatever they were. It's not our, what I'm saying is twerking is not our culture as Israelites, right?
Oh,
and you brought up the
but
Queen
as
of-
Africans, it's my
It's-
culture.
it's a
That's
Af-
why I
it's-
said.
it's a-
But you can't be both. You can't
You
be
can't be- you
African
can't be two
and an
things.
Israelite.
You can't be two things.
Well, Africans are sons of Leo Africanus. So let's get that
That's a
correct.
whole- yeah, that's a
the
whole
the whole
different-
continent was named after a white man. So I
Yeah.
don't know why we even calling it Africa. It's not called Africa.
The Africans
So
don't
the
call themselves
original
African.
people are Israelites, is what you're
No,
saying, of color.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, so
I'm just saying that there's two different.
Let me
I'm
know.
just saying the
I
color.
want to understand.
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
trying- yeah.
I'll make it simple. I understand where you're coming from, Danny. East Indians, I live around East Indians, right? East
Okay.
Indians are darker than me and this brother.
Yes, they
okay?
are. Mhm.
That doesn't make us black people
Gotcha.
because of our
Okay.
color. So
Okay.
that we have to get the
Okay.
colorism out of our
Okay,
mind.
So you're thinking.
So
nation-
just because they're
nations.
the same color as me does not make them the same people.
That's what
right?
Darwin.
Got you.
Darwin
Okay.
introduced
Okay.
that.
Right.
Got
Darwin
it.
introduced that to
Okay.
Right, so
that makes perfect
that's not
sense.
that's not
That
our
makes
culture.
perfect
You
sense.
brought up the
Right.
Queen of England. I'm glad you brought this up. This is why this is important. They stole their culture, their promise to lineage. The reason that she calls herself the queen, that's your culture.
Yes. Come on, brother. Come on.
They stole the Israel. So if you look at the scepter she holds,
Yes. Come on.
the diamond that's in her crown,
In the Remember
The
the Time
Rock.
video, y'all.
the rock. She has a rock. You can look this up right
Hello?
now. There's a big ass stone that sits under her throne. Google what the stone is. The stone. What was it? David that had the dream of the ladders.
Jacob.
Jacob.
Jacob's ladder.
It's the Jacob. It's the stone of Jacob. So it's apparently the stone that Jacob slept on when he had this dream of these angels going up and down this ladder. So how they became the queen or the kings, we ruled Europe in the 1500s. They called it the Renaissance age
Right.
because that means to restore. White people had to restore their history after we fell out of rulership. So what happened to all the things we possessed at that time? They took it.
Right.
So all of her power, her kingdom, comes from us.
And Britain has a large library
Brit
of
means
Israeli. They have a lot. They have a large Israeli, and they went to Syria when they just bombed Syria. Everybody
took
was
all
thinking
their
about
shit,
Syria.
yep.
They literally went and took
Yep.
Dagon.
They took
went
the palace,
Dagon, the god Dagon, the fish god. They still
I
got
know.
the Canaanite fish god. They still have it today. It's in Britain
Really?
today.
Yeah, like a lot of the
it's
shit.
in
Really?
Britain.
A lot of the shit we think is
Really?
mythological, and they actually have.
They
the
have
records.
it in Britain right now.
Well, we know one of the seven wonders of the world is the Hanging Gardens in Babylon. Babylon does not exist to this day. Babylon. So that was
Well,
just.
we actually live in Babylon today.
Oh,
This is the new Babylon.
This is
I'm talking
according-
about Jerusalem.
No.
I'm talking about over in. I'm
According
talking
to the
about
scriptures.
Over.
Babylon-
Yeah, of course.
yeah, Babylon means
We're Babylon the Great.
Confusion.
So brother said Babylon means confusion.
It means confusion.
That's why the
And
brother-
Babel.
No,
And
to
Babel literally
Babel.
means-
No, first of all,
Babel.
when they were creating, when the king was creating that high, he wanted to create a tower that
Nimrod.
would reach. yes, Nimrod wanted to create that tower that will reach the skies because he wanted to be as high as God. And so when God was like, oh, you funny. Oh, you want to be as high as me? Watch this. So all the workers that were working on that structure to get to the, he confused all their language.
Babel.
And that's where you call the Babylist. So he was like, how can you communicate with somebody if I don't know how can I build anything with anybody if I can't communicate with you? So they all spoke different languages and it was a huge confusion. And so it was like, oh, okay, you thought you was tough. Well, let me do this. And that's where Babel comes from, hence Babylon. So, I mean, I know a little something, you know.
Well,
but
this
Babylon.
is New Babylon. This is the one country.
It was a
for
city,
all
though.
the many
It was.
languages.
And
Yeah.
think
All
about
the confused languages here are here.
think about
Very
our
much so.
Think about our
Very
dialogue
much.
today.
It's a melting pot. They call it a melting
So
pot.
look, I thought this was interesting. So God divided the story of Babylon. He divided the nations at that moment, right?
Sure did.
He created.
Yep.
So it is
Babel.
interesting. Isn't it interesting that they called this place the United States of America?
Yes, I did.
I find that interesting that God keeps trying to divide people,
Yes.
and humans keep trying to unite
Unite.
people. I find that very, very interesting.
Because he said the Bible, I will cause division between a mother and her daughter.
That's his
Jesus
purpose.
said that.
He said he
I
came
will
with a
use
sword.
this tool as a weapon to divide a mother from. So it is like, you're not going to understand and respect how I feel. And it did. It caused a division between my mother and myself.
So that's a
it
true
did,
statement.
because I
That's a true
chose not to believe what she subscribed to, being in the witnesses. I just couldn't, it made sense.
That was a
I
hell of a
get it.
testimony, Danny.
But I'm just saying, and it divided us, and that is active proof.
Yeah, that's
That
tough.
is active
I
proof.
haven't found one lie in it yet.
I'm just saying. Oh,
I
we
ain't
in
found
here.
one lie in it yet.
So to answer Seymour's question,
Yes.
I'm not saying twerking. I'm not against
No,
twerking.
it's wrong.
'cause
I'm against
you should be twerking, Seymour. If you are a married woman, you got a woman.
No, I want to
If
twerk.
you got a man,
I want to twerk. You don't want your wife to twerk for
listen,
you,
let me
Nick.
finish what I'm saying to
I'm
you.
gonna
Let me
twerk.
finish.
If I'm dancing,
Seymour.
I'm gonna twerk all on that.
Seymour, if you
Twerk.
got a man who's committed to you, he love you, he working with you, please twerk for him. It's the wisest thing you can do is when that man come home tonight, get on something he likes, twerk for this man, give this man the most entertainment, and do it consistently. Entertain this man, twerk for him, man. Don't do it on Instagram.
Don't let the
Don't
world
do it on
see.
Instagram.
You're not
Why?
everybody's.
Wait a minute.
You're not
Listen,
everybody's,
listen,
ma'am.
listen.
Ladies
Seymour.
out here, you're not
Seymour.
everybody's. It's
Seymour.
for these married women.
You can do it on Instagram. King not saying you can't. Knock yourself out if you want to. I'm saying the moment you do that, a good man is going to judge you. That's just the way it is. Once he see you promoting yourself to a whole bunch of different men in a sexual type of way, a sexualized type of way, you lose value. King told you that.
Facts.
Let King be the one to tell you.
That's
Because
facts.
none of the niggas ain't gonna be honest with you and tell you that truth. But the moment you begin to be over-sexualized to a whole bunch of men, it's the same way with women too. It's the same way with women too. They see a man who's too much, he loses value. The same thing with a man. He's not saying twerking is bad. Yeah, twerking is great for in a private situation, but now you twerking for millions of people.
And what's
then you're
what's the
twerking-
message?
Yeah.
Okay,
you out
twerk,
here,
show
so
that
you gotta-
ass, man. I
Well,
love to
okay,
see
so what
you.
about these
Show that-
TikTok challenges and all that out here? What if it's
It
normalized
said
now?
not give it
The
too
great
much
entertainment.
But what's your job, Danny? Not give it too much wine.
Oh, so don't be
chased.
caught up
You shouldn't
in
even
the
know.
minutia
You
of
shouldn't
just
even
what's
know
going
it.
on right now.
If my woman even know what the latest TikTok challenge is, you giving into too much wine. You shouldn't even
Yeah.
have that information in your head.
Mm.
That's what
But
God
what
is.
about if it's what if I want? Listen. I don't like social media. Anyone
Right.
that knows me knows I grew up with a computer in my house. I hate it.
Right.
So with that being said, with the field that I'm in, I have to generate. Y'all know I only got not even 1,000 followers, so I hate social media. I would rather be engaged with a person face to face. That's how I grew up. Roscoe's was my first Facebook. Anybody wanted to see me, they rolled up in Roscoe's, and that's how I rolled. But as an entertainer, I have to keep up with the goofy TikToks. I got to keep up with this bullshit because I want to generate followers.
No,
I want to just for numbers and in the direction that I'm going as far as my entertainment. I have to do that.
Let me say something. No. What you have to do is keep doing what you're doing. Is allowing people to engage and put out and be what's real. Because Ellen DeGeneres is doing that. There's so many other people doing that, and it doesn't work. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes, it looks good for ratings, but I don't even think doesn't even look good race because we all know if you ever been to an Ellis show or any of these shows, you know this shit is false. You know this shit is fake.
Well, yeah, I mean, they do say that she's an asshole and that her
No, I'm talking
she has a toxic work environment.
No, I'm talking about the whole show. Like literally, somebody is telling you when to clap, when to laugh.
Right. Yeah. Oh,
that's what I'm saying. It's generated. It's not.
Oh, okay,
so you want to be? You say you want to be fake. Is what you're saying. It's staged. It's the theater.
Yeah.
It's a show.
It's production.
It's production. If you're saying that's what you want to do,
scripted,
then go ahead and do that. But I'm saying I don't even think that would be a wise thing to do because right now you're able to be free to let the people to speak their mind. And yeah, right now it's not 1,000 people, but I would rather have 5 people who real,
substance, right? Then
a
whole
1,000 people who just
fakeness.
the numbers and nobody's engaging with you, nobody's supporting, nobody's sponsoring you, nobody's sending you, nobody calling in. But you got 1,000 people, but ain't nobody engaged. But you got 10 people, and out of the 10 people, you got 4 people who fucking with you heavy, like Seymour, like people that's calling in.
Oh man, the chat room is.
You know what I'm saying? Give me 4 consistent people, like Gideon. Gideon, like God, most times, like you don't need 10,000 army of 100,000. You gonna get 300 people.
Right.
I'm gonna give you a good 300 people, soldiers, real soldiers. Y'all gonna be able to do more than you having this big audience. And big audience for what? But right now you can say what you want to say. You ain't got nobody paying you 200,000, 300,000 to say what they paying you to say. You right now you can be free. You can say nah.
Seymour says twerking. Seymour, listen, sweetie. I'm gonna say this.
And then we're gonna wrap it
up.
Yeah,
there's danger in trying to normalize things that are not supposed to be okay. You know, and I just want to encourage. I want to encourage people to think about this, man. You're going to be held accountable for everything you say, everything you do, even the things you think. So I would just say, be wise about that and take heed to that, because I've read the consequences of these actions. So I actually, just for my people, Seymour, I know we joke on here a lot, but you know, you should look into that and see the consequences of doing what you want to do and living your life how you want to live it. You know. God don't want you to shake your ass.
If y'all want to twerk, my Instagram is King James Global.
Listen, I
put some music to get twerking and everything.
The reason
you
you
can make
can't
videos
twerk
for you,
is so you don't embarrass the Most High.
Oh goodness! So for everyone doing the 2-step,
twerk
and
for your nigga.
So only the 2-step is okay with the righteous one.
In the words of
Danny,
Danny,
he could do that.
In the words of Danny, twerk for your man.
Twerk for your man, right?
Twerk for your man.
I mean,
get you a shirt, Danny. Put that on a shirt.
Listen,
twerk for your man.
Sign that to me.
Yeah,
twerk for your man.
What do you twerk for?
I'm gonna get you a Let Danny Tell It shirt.
My man. I'm kidding. I'm lying.
Well, twerk for all men. You know what? Then I make the shirt. Just twerk for everybody. Twerk for all men. Fuck it, just twerk.
For everyone.
Just twerk.
Listen,
twerk at your
I
job.
don't judge
Twerk
anybody
everywhere.
on what they do. However they choose to represent themselves is how they choose to do so. I'm no one's judge. You know, maybe they have a craving, desire for attention. What if they just wanted to be goofy and try? You know, I do all. You know, like just do you. I'm not here to judge you, but at the end of the day, the righteous one will, and King will.
No,
they are looking, and they are like, she could twerk, but
no, I enjoy it. I scroll.
She's a whole slut. She could twerk, but she's not gonna be my wife.
Listen, I ain't gonna speak for the righteous one. I scroll through them. I look. I don't hit the like button.
You be looking in lust, then. You look in lust.
I'd be a liar if I said I wasn't.
Exactly. So
I'm not gonna sit here on this public forum.
Should we abolish twerking, King? Should we abolish twerking?
No, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, like
I ain't gonna like my girl to do it.
Confused.
My girl better not try that nut ass shit.
I'm so confused.
So a girl I'm with and I'm committed to.
Hell no.
That'd be a definite relationship. She can do it. You go ahead. I'll be done.
That's how I'm talking about.
It is the way it is.
What you want to do? I'm out, nigga.
It is.
What about you? You don't want to see your woman twerk for you?
For me,
For me, that's fine.
Yes. Oh, okay.
I wish, nigga, I wish.
Oh, okay. Good. The righteous one.
I would just laugh if I seen her twerking somewhere. I would just, you're silly. It'd be a rap, nigga.
You would just choke her?
No, I would just leave. That would just show me we're just not on the same. We just don't have the same.
We're not on the same frequency.
Ideas of
Man,
life.
because you gonna show your daughter that's acceptable.
Because I'm always thinking about my nieces and shit. I can't show you to my niece no more. It's over.
Now I can't even show you to my niece.
I can't even take you
because
around
you was twerking on the floor.
It's over. Yeah.
Ooh.
I can't have them growing up because now they can start twerking right now, and I can't
So
say shit.
okay, but let's take twerking. So what about they had the
that's
suck dick
terrible.
challenge, and now on
Oh,
everybody
oh,
just sucking dick
wow.
on
Yeah.
challenge.
On the red light. Remember the red
What
light
is the
challenge?
suck dick challenge?
Oh,
He
yeah.
said,
Red
okay,
light.
yeah. What's
Everybody got naked on the
popular?
red light. Remember that? And then niggas
Oh.
figured out how to move the red light and see, and now you can see all the shits. You don't remember
Oh,
that?
it's popular.
No.
So it's popular.
Yeah.
Do it because it's popular. Okay, suck dick
Or the
challenge.
titty challenge.
Okay,
Put your titty
or,
out.
or whatever, or just
Look,
fuck a dog challenge. I mean, it's okay. Well,
Look, King,
cool.
tonight we should just make up some bogus challenges.
And
See
just
which
put it
one,
out there,
see
and
which
then
one
you do
fly.
it. And like, okay,
Put out the
what's
suck a dick
popular?
challenge. Suck a random dick challenge.
Woo! It's popular. Everybody else is doing it.
Niggas
It's
might
the right
come.
thing to
Niggas
do.
might come up.
Nah,
nigga.
we're gonna have a pussy eating contest.
No,
How about
see,
that?
nah, they ain't- you fucking it up.
Notice, I'm not gonna let y'all sit up here and shit on my females like that.
Yeah,
Nah,
we
we're gonna have
trying
a
to get
pussy
this-
eating
It's both
contest.
ways.
How about that?
Both were ways.
How about that? Yeah.
Both
Don't be
ways.
trying to hold it. I
There
don't
will be
care.
some-
I'm so sick of men
They said
holding us to a different standard because we
Y'all
carry the
different.
babies.
Y'all
Y'all put
different.
it there.
You know
y'all,
what?
y'all need to be just as accountable for yourselves.
It's not.
Be
it's
just
not,
as accountable
you know what?
for the
And
shit
I'll
that
close-
y'all putting on us. Y'all have to live by them same standards.
You know what?
Fuck
I'll
that.
close with this. I'll say this, right? The Most High. Here's how I feel
Righteous
about.
one.
Here's how I feel about women. In a perfect world,
Mm-hmm.
the Most High said it's not good that man be alone. He said, you know what?
Yeah.
Man is in the perfect. He don't got no Satan. He don't got no enemies. He don't got to work. He got a perfect environment. The Most High said, you know what? He need a woman. Now and then after he gave him the woman, then he said it's good. Think about that. That's how powerful women are. In a perfect world, you ain't even perfect without her. You can't even be completed without this woman. This woman
Correct.
comes along, and now the Most High said, this is good.
She's a compliment.
That's
to
how
you.
powerful a woman is. So yeah, a woman has a different standard. To whom much is given, much is required. She is great. In a perfect world, we can't be perfect without her. Think about it. He's the first person there. There's nobody else there but him. He got a guard. He got everything he need. He got a job. But the Most High said, it's not good that he be alone.
Yeah,
I'm going to make him a woman.
to be a
Imagine
helper
that.
and a compliment to him.
So
yeah, according
that's how,
to the Bible.
But that's how great you are as a woman. That's how
Yes.
powerful you are as a woman. That's how divine you are as a woman. It's not my fault that a lot of men don't understand, help women to see that in themselves.
So you guys are just way more
I would-
fleshly, I want to say, and we're more, divine. We're held to a higher standard.
No, it's not a
basically, is
higher
what you're
standard. I
saying,
think
or
that-
we
think
have more
about it.
responsibility as far as what we teach our children or what we put out.
Look,
or-
let's
I'm just asking.
Let's end it on this. Look, let's look at reality though. When a black woman does something,
Mm-hmm.
it goes viral.
It does.
You know what that means?
Very
It's
much.
affected
We're
the
watched.
entire world.
Yeah.
If white woman was twerking, nobody would give a fuck.
Nobody.
If
would.
Asian
We
women
laugh.
twerk,
I mean,
no
it's,
one cares.
it's
So-
jokes.
So look, so the Most High is telling you, you're influencing the world.
Okay. I got it.
So
we got
viral.
mad responsibility.
Ooh.
We-
Right, because
we
if
got a
the
lot of
Asian woman
responsibility.
twerks, we'll look at it and say, oh, she's cute, but it's not going to become a thing.
Yeah.
When the black woman does it, because of how divine you are, it becomes a cultural
It
thing
becomes
now.
a culture thing.
And now to the point where Seymour is older than all of us,
Mm-hmm.
and she's arguing about being able to twerk.
I know that's
Right.
right though,
That's
because
crazy
she's
to me.
right.
That's
She's
crazy.
fighting for our rights to do it.
You don't have no
okay?
rights.
You know what?
You
Seymour,
don't have
knock
no
yourself
rights.
out.
Seymour, there's no free
And
will,
then you
baby.
don't have no right to watch it. Then hell,
No,
you'll hold yourself to a higher standard if you expect us to. Don't fucking
accept,
watch it.
I
then,
accept
King.
that. I accept
I'm a
that.
sinner.
Don't watch it.
I
It's-
accept
it's,
that,
it's,
Danny.
it is no. You
I'm
can't
a
sit up
sinner.
here and down it. And I don't want my people
you're
doing
right.
it.
No,
but then
I'm not.
That's
no,
a
hold
hypo-
on.
that's a-
Let me
that's
be clear.
hypocritical.
I'm not downing it.
Oh.
I'm not saying nothing wrong with it.
You're just
I'm
saying you don't want your woman
No,
doing
no.
it.
I'm saying that you're gonna be devalued when you do it. Do it. I'm saying, listen, I enjoy it.
But don't
I'm
enjoy a
saying-
woman devaluing herself. Why would you do that?
Then don't
That's
do
the-
it.
That's the culture we live in
Yeah,
today.
then don't drive the car if you don't want to lose the value on it. They
Yeah,
can't get mad
don't
at me.
drive it. Just let it sit on the
Bullshit.
lot.
Don't watch something
I'm
and
saying to
then
you,
at the same time feel like it. So you're supporting women devaluing themselves
No, because I
because
don't.
you're watching it and you're aroused by it.
I'm saying my natural instinct is to be turned on by a woman shaking her ass.
Okay.
I'm saying, but in me getting turned on, I'm not gonna be asking her. She's not gonna get no marriage certificate from me. I can tell you that's a guarantee. For me, she not. Now for some other man, they might. But for most men, they don't want a woman who seems to be openly promiscuous, and he don't know if he's been with a bunch of men. Men don't like that. Most men don't. There's some men who don't give a fuck. Most men will not. They would desire for their woman to not be with. Then everybody to see my woman twerking it. It's like the same thing, like a woman who would want a man who been with every single woman. Like, dang, he been with. Well, some women.
Well,
I was
I
just
was
saying,
like,
look,
you
women-
ain't
It
me,
is.
you
That
know
don't
me.
bother them.
If you ain't me,
It
if
is
I'm
a
your
woman now,
fifth
think about
woman,
it.
I don't want to be your fifth woman. I'm damn near 40. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
that don't really
unless
bother
you were
women,
married
like,
for
I find it
years, we
interesting.
don't know that, and you could have been married for 20 years. Who knows? You know, and then lost your. I mean, I don't. I gotta. Just,
I agree with you,
know,
Danny.
it's an individual circumstance, but
you're
yeah,
right.
I want my man to have experience sexually. I don't want no.
Yeah, but do
fucking
you want him
virgin.
to be?
I don't.
You want
And if
you
he
want
has
Wilt
slip-
Chamberlain? You
I mean,
want,
I don't.
you want
I mean,
Magic
I've
Johnson?
dated somebody in the adult film industry before.
I was gonna say,
I
like,
don't mind.
Danny,
I
I
mean,
think-
they're people. I mean, it's,
I think you're right. I agree with you, Danny. I think you're right.
right,
about-
Papa?
No.
Right, Papa?
They have legs.
They have.
But okay,
Papa says they have
would
legs.
You, but would you date a known pimp? Would you date a
Nah,
known?
not
Why
anybody.
not? Why not?
Not
Why
a known pimp.
Why not? Why not? Why
Because
would
I
you-
don't like the message behind a pimp. I don't like the fact that he uses his money and gains money off of somebody else's woman and manipulates and says whatever he needs to do to her to find a broken woman, make her do something for him. Like, nah, I don't accept that because
what about if he
that's
just
a
provide
mindset.
protection?
That's a mindset.
But
I
maybe
don't
he's
want
providing- He
you.
might just be providing protection. She might ask him to be her to protect her.
No, because eventually he's gonna step into slippery slope. I didn't watch all them pimp movies, honey. The game chose me. I didn't choose the game. Yeah, they start off innocent as shit. By the end of the movie, this nigga's beating bitches' asses and taking
funny
all
as
the
hell.
money.
They ain't listening.
Papa said they ain't listening. So that's what
Pop,
I'm saying.
ho. Pop's in the room. Pop.
That's
You
Papa.
want a
Mhm.
you want a woman that's twerking?
Damn.
No,
Why not?
no need that.
He
Wait,
don't want it.
I'm
He don't
telling
want
you,
it.
you
Danny.
ask most men.
Yeah.
You see Sweet Willie Walker's comment? He said it's crazy that a woman would pray to a man in outer space, but rebel against a man here on Earth. Really? You just dropped the bomb, my brother.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
I love this show.
Well, you always refer to a visible man in the
Hey,
universe.
hey, man.
sir.
No, I'm just going by what the brother said. The brother
I'm
said
just
it's
a bit-
amazing how women can submit themselves to a man in space. But the nigga in front of you just can't do it. Nigga gotta have all kind of qualifications. Nigga.
Oh.
It's crazy.
it.
Thank you for that.
Oh,
Sweet.
knock it off. Okay, Seymour.
that man
I'm going to
submit to
read.
himself?
Seymour,
That's
call
what I'm
in.
asking. That's what I'm asking that brother.
818-914-4087. We're supposed to wrap. Okay, so, this is the last
Go ahead,
point.
close it, Danny. Go ahead, close it.
Okay,
It's your
so, well, okay, let's see.
world. Well, we got a fun fact.
What did she say? What? Tell them. What? Say it
We
again.
got a fun fact.
Do we have a fun pack?
A fun fact.
A fun fact.
A
yes,
fun
we
pack.
do.
What a fun
I
pack.
know.
What
So-
a pack.
So, thank you guys for everybody. I just want to wrap this up. It has been such a wonderful, wonderful show. You guys, I appreciate all of your input. Seymour, call in next time, please, and let us know what your thoughts are. 818-914-4087. Call in next week. And, I want to hear more back. Chat room, y'all call in. I can't read all y'all's comments, so please call in. But our black... But our black fun fact of the day is, so Kathy Williams, once enslaved, disguised herself as a man to serve in the U.S. Army after the Civil War. Now, this was a black lady that disguised herself and wanted to serve in the U.S. Army after the Civil War. So in 1861...
Shout out to K-Dot.
No, we're not talking about studs, everyone.
That's
In
hilarious.
1861, Kathy Williams was freed from service at the Johnson Plantation by the Union Army and immediately pressed into service as a cook and washerman for the troops. Despite being forced to travel around the country with General Philip Sheridan's troops for 5 years, Williams found a new sense of purpose in working with the troops. So much so that she enlisted in the 38th Infantry Regiment in 1866 as William Cathy. So that was the first official stud in U.S. history.
First lady.
Yeah,
girl.
shout out Miss Cathy. She was like, hey, I'm going to hold it down too.
Oh, that's that show, Milan. Is that Milan? What's the girl Disney movie like that? Which the girl went in.
Oh, was it Milan?
Act
I
like
think it was.
it was
Yeah,
Milan. That is
she
Milan.
fought
They
as
stole
a...
that from us too. God damn it. God damn.
Damn it!
You just can't have nothing.
You can't have shit.
Fuck.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so
That's
we're
hilarious.
gonna have ghosties. What are the ghosties? Oh, guys, I hope you guys got a chance to check out Tulsa Burning, the 1921 race massacre, and that was produced by Russell Westbrook. Thank you so much, young bro. I
real.
love you. I'm so sorry that y'all didn't make it in the playoffs, but
For real.
but we love you anyway. Shout out to the Wizards. Shout out to you. Love you, Russell Westbrook. And what else? The Reckoning, right? You want to see that? Oh, Lucifer, also. Check that out.
You talking about the TV show?
You guys, stop. Dad, stop embarrassing me. Shout that out.
Beat Shazam.
Beat Shazam tonight.
Beat Shazam airs again tonight.
Okay, please let us know what
dope.
format.
Where does Beat Shazam? Is it Fox? Beat Shazam? Fox. I think it's on Fox.
On Fox?
Yeah, I think it's on
Okay,
Fox.
great.
Beat
You guys
Shazam.
check that out.
Mainstream.
Absolutely. Also, I want to give a big, big, big shout out to Love Thy Neighbor.
Shout out to Love.
Yeah.
Love Thy
Yes,
Neighbor.
woo!
So Love Thy Neighbor. So actually,
Let's
you guys,
go.
there's going to be an event. Now, this is going to be sponsored by Fast Mouse Films. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Papa in the building. Yes.
sir. Take care of
So
the people.
we're going to have that. We're going to throw on a hot dog on a stick. That's going to be served downtown at Love Thy Neighbor Foundation. That's going to be on June 24th, you guys, at 12 noon. We're giving out hot dogs on the stick to the first 350 people. So please show up, show out.
Amen.
We love that. I'm going to give me a good old American cheese stick shout. Well, I can't because I'm going to be here, but damn it. King, bring me one. So we're shouting that out. Shout out to Fast Mouse Films and Love Thy Neighbor. And yes, also another shout out to my Friend's House Foundation. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, Miss Tiffany Rose.
Happy
for
birthday,
giving us-
Tiffany.
Happy birthday, Tiff. Yes, Gemini
Yeah.
season. So, yes, we appreciate that. You guys, we want to remind you to buy black. And
Yes.
also,
Always.
let's see. Thank yous. My thank yous go out to Rodney Mason.
Shout out to OG.
Shout out. Thank you so much. My
OG.
shouts out are to the righteous one. If I could not do
Shout
this
out to the
without
Most
him.
High.
He shouts out the Most High.
out to the
And then
Most
to
High.
Speedy. My
Shout out to
Speedy,
Pop.
that's my papa. I thank you, King, for coming
I'm
today
scrolling, looking at
and
twerking
blessing
on
us.
Instagram right now.
Yeah, now you looking at twerking. You better cut
I'm
it.
twerking,
That's
looking
the
right
devil.
now.
Let me see.
Woo!
Let me see.
I'm trying to find shit. I'm
Show
trying to
me.
look
Let me
right
see.
now.
You know how it's, you know it's good when you just shake your head. You just go, this is
Hey.
ridiculous.
I know, like these
Instagram.
girls. I know, right? Exactly.
Yeah, she needs some home training. Look at all that.
Yes.
Look at this.
Woo!
Look at this.
Shout out to Instagram.
You
Look
had
at
to show
this,
somebody.
this
Look at all this
despicable.
disgusting ass
Yeah,
on
this
here.
is-
Oh,
Come on,
gosh.
I know,
Oh,
she
this
over
is
here.
disgusting.
Busting it wide open. Look at it. It's just filth.
Oh,
It's
no
just
Afro
filth.
musicals.
Look how
Oh, no, get
disgusting
out
this
here.
monkey print is on
I
here.
was about to say, King, admit you got a little bit of a chub.
Ah, you know,
Stop looking. Don't look too hard. No, okay. I want to thank the chat room. I love you guys
y'all been
all.
great
Thank you
today,
so much, man. Thank you, sweet Willy Wonka Joe. Seymour, I appreciate
Yes,
you. Big
Seymour.
J, I love your call. Thank you so much for showing support. Emerald City 206. What up? OG Sleepy Tulog, Jack Clampett. I love all you guys. I would just want to thank you. Mike Hard, Critical Thinker. You guys are amazing. And Jay Elite, yes, ma'am. And all my females out there, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. You guys come back. Join me next week, Thursday at 1 p.m.-ish.
Yes, let's get it.
And every Thursday, 1 p.m.-ish.
hilarious.
I love you guys all. We will see you next week.
Hit that cash app, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah, do that.
Let me hit it right now. Let me hit that right now.
Do that. Do that.
What's your cash app, man?
My cash app is.
Put it in the chat, Danny, too. Put it in
Oh
the chat.
shoot! I know, right?
Hank, if you got one, put it in the chat.
Okay, cool.
Our fans love the support.
What is it? I know you guys are so amazing for that. I love y'all so much. Let me see how to do it. I don't wanna. Okay, hold on. Wait. I know. I'm trying.
Your
Yeah.
mic is still on there for you. So
Oh, okay.
No, it's not that Danny, tell me.
One. I know, hon. Don't let. Okay. Oh, so
Danny
it is
Corinne.
Danny Corinne. Yes. So it is $sign Danny DANI CORRIN. Danielle Corinne Carr is my name, you guys. So Danny Corinne is what I go by. I love you guys. Y'all stay tuned. Go Lakers! Go Lakers! Game 6. Let's go. Woo!
hey, what happened with your boy Kawhi? I like Kawhi, but that boy Luka Doncic, God.
He be shitting on him. He shits on him left and right.
Talking
He
shit.
embarrasses him. He talks shit